Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Zone Live. We will have a guest with us in a few minutes, but there's a couple of things I want to get off my chest. But before I do that, because I know you are all waiting with anticipation of what I have to say, because normally whenever I say something, I always seem to get in trouble. But I'm going to be trying to be as calm and collective as possible, right? Because, it's the best way to do it. So I'm not going to sit here and slag the person off. Well, we'll see. All depends on what humor I'm in after I start. So there's someone going around on Twitter saying that I'm not supporting the campaign, the Not My Doctor Who campaign. Now, I'll just give you a little brief background. Last year, I did a bit of work with this person and we exposed the feminist front, the sisterhood of Can, the way they were going on. And at the time, that was the argument and that was the fight to be having, all this feminist agenda getting into Doctor Who. Now, he pissed off, right, and decided to leave the running of his Facebook page, which I have actually left now. I left a couple of weeks ago. He left me to run that, right, while he went off to do his business with Brexit. He likes to see himself as some sort of voice of the people, which is fair enough. I've nothing against that. But the problem I have is if you're going to fuck off for 3 months and then come back and then start asking people to sign a petition when the argument has moved on and we said that petitions don't work, and I've actually proved that the emails are actually working, that is the best route to go, somehow that rubs you up the wrong way. And then you go around telling everybody that I'm a snowflake. And anybody that follows me on Twitter knows that I have a habit because of my phone. Sometimes I might put up a tweet that doesn't make sense because there's typos in it. Well, I put one up that was a typo, and then of course he did his little thing that he does. He puts things in a little box and he does the arrows and he says, "Oh, look, Noel has sold out." Noel actually is saying that Ruth's Doctor is canon, right? Now, all I have said is that Ruth's Doctor, in the 15 minutes that she was the Doctor, was a better Doctor than Jodie Whittaker. Then he had the gall to have a go at me and say that I stabbed a certain YouTuber in the back. Now, again, you're a tick because you were gone for 3 months. So let me fill you in on what happened. What basically happened was Ballstrek was doing a little bit of work on this YouTuber's channel. I was on that YouTuber's channel. He was coming onto my channel. We were helping each other out, right? Then out of the blue, he started talking to guys like, I won't mention them, but he started talking to other YouTubers. Then one particular YouTuber, as everybody knows, decided to take a pop at Ballstrek, right? Now, your little friend, who Ballstrek did work for, decided to say nothing and not defend Ballstrek, even though Ballstrek had done stuff on his channel to promote his channel, right? So that was the reason why I stopped talking to him. But recently, your little friend decided that he was going to explain to everybody why he was stopped following Ballstrek. And if you actually read these tweets, they're absolutely ridiculous, right? They're absolutely ridiculous tweets. And the statement that he makes at the end, especially when he says that one day he hopes to be a doctor, right? And that the reason why he's not following Ballstrek anymore is because he's disabled and he feels that Bolstrek would belittle him, would call him a diversity hire. You've got it totally wrong, mate. Absolutely, right? So that's the little friend that you're defending. That little friend decided to have a pop at Bolstrek. And by the way, he did a live stream which he actually deleted. But you see, I'm smart and I downloaded that live stream where he was taking the piss out of me and other YouTubers and actually taking the piss out of the Doctor Who fandom, right? So that's your little friend, right? So that's the one that you want me to talk to, and the one that you're defending, right? And then you called me a snowflake last night and you called me a fake last night. You haven't even been around me, right? And as for your little friend, right, the things that you accused me of money baiting people to get subs. No, mate, he uses people to get subs and that's all he's ever been about, right? He uses other channels and then when it doesn't go his way or people turn their back on them because they can see right through him, he turns on them. And that's exactly what he did. And as for you, you little sniveling little lion, that's what you call yourself, Aslan's lion, more like a pussycat. More like a pussycat. Yeah? You're nothing. Right? You're like me, you're nothing. You don't have any power, right? So be getting into your head you have power, going on to other people's YouTube channels saying your campaign, our campaign. What campaign have you got? And who have you got? Because nobody's retweeting your tweets. Nobody's liking your tweets except you. Right? Give me a break. I've done more in this fandom than you've ever done. Right? Calling me a fake and a snowflake. Anybody that knows me on this channel, do you know what? How I know you don't watch me channel is, oh, well, I'm going to expose you being the fake that you are. Well, everybody's been watching me, right? I have 1,278 subscribers as of now. And why? Because I'm truthful, I'm raw, I'm unedited, and people can see that I'm not fake. Okay? Now, the reason why I have a problem with him, right? And this is the biggest problem. And this is why I won't sign his little pathetic petition, which, by the way, only has 269 signs since he spoke about a couple of months on someone else's channel. So nobody gives a shit about your petition anyway. But the reason why I have a problem with him is that he decided it was a good idea to go and tweet Root, the new Doctor, right, Joe. He decided to go and tweet that petition and give her a load of spiel about the BBC and about this feminist agenda, right? So that's why I refused to sign his petition. But now he's going around and telling everybody on Twitter that I refuse to back the Not My Doctor Who campaign, right? No. I'm not supporting your campaign. We've got a better campaign. And as Daniel and Mr. Awesome have already proved, and I've already been told by loads of other people, because you were saying, where's your proof? Well, I've already put 2 videos up of 2 email replies already that 2 of my subscribers got. I've already been informed that others have sent emails and they will send me their replies. So I'll throw them up on my channel. Because the difference between me and you is I'm not all talk, right? I will prove it and I will show evidence, unlike you. You jump on a cause, you do, and you have this big ego. You think that everybody should listen to you. Well, I'm not listening to you, right? And you better stop talking about me, and you better stop using all the old stuff when we worked on the feminist front. I deleted those videos off my YouTube channel. I want nothing to do with you. You crossed the line, and then you says to me, who drew the line, you? No, I didn't draw the line. Common fucking sense drew the line, you idiot. You don't go and text the bloody actress or tweet the actress directly, right, and tell her that this is all done because of agenda, basically telling her that she was cast because of agenda. We know that. You don't tell her that, though. That's the point. Chris Chibnall, you're gone for 3 months. You don't realise that the whole argument has changed now. The whole movement has changed. It's become more about Chris Chibnall now. You get rid of Chris Chibnall, the rest of the dominoes fall anyway. And by the way, this email campaign is my campaign. Yeah? I'm the one that asked people to do it. people are doing it, right? So don't be going around and telling people our campaign. It's not your campaign. If you want to get 500 signatures for a pathetic little petition, go ahead. Go and check all the ones for Series 11 and tell me if any of them were fully signed. Not one of them. So don't talk to me about we need to take action. I'm taking the most direct action that we can take, which is emailing the BBC directly about complaints about the show. All right? About the writing. About the direction it's going in. Right? And nothing about box ticking or gender. We're not bringing her into it. We've concentrated on the writing because that's the way to get rid of them. Absolutely disgraceful. You crossed the line. You don't realise you've crossed the line. You're going around badmouthing me on Twitter. You want to stop it. Because unlike the rest of the people that you take on, I'm not going to bloody stop, right? And everybody that takes me on ends up losing anyway. So do yourself a favour and back the fuck off. Lying me arse. You're a pussycat. Right? This is my garden. Yeah, you stay in your garden and we'll all stay in our garden, and you let the Doctor Who fans like me and everybody else that's supporting me do the dirty work in our fandom, right? We don't need your help. You go and sort out your Brexit, your Tommy Robinson, your Nigel Farage, and then your mate Trump then will be getting elected in November, so you'll be busy with that. I don't mind any of those guys personally myself, but you'll be busy, right? That's what you've been busy doing. All right, I've been busy here in the fandom. All right, busy giving fans a bloody voice. How dare you? Absolutely ridiculous. Carry on. And I wouldn't even mind though. It's flooded into other people that I know. Right, other people are being harassed as well. This has got to stop. Right, I want to introduce a guest because I do have a guest for you because, you know, I didn't want to just me ranting. So I wanted to bring someone else on that might fancy a rant as well. But she's a regular on the channel and I'm proud to call her a friend as well. And a friend of this channel, Blue Bonnet Hoovian.
Hey.
How are you?
Okay.
Good. It's nice to see a smile on your face.
Yeah, but better than yesterday. Yesterday wasn't a good day.
Right, don't mind on you then. And whoever it is that's picking on you as well. Right, look, you pick on her, you pick on me, you pick on us all, right? No, nobody should have to deal with any sort of harassment because you don't like what she's saying about a TV show. Are you really that pathetic? Have you not seen what's happened in the news recently with that TV presenter taking her life because of trolls? Does not realise the damages are done. I don't think
everyone has their limit.
I don't think they do, or they do, they just don't care.
Yeah, they don't care that there is limits. Even me, and I'm a pretty thick shell. But even there's days where I'm just like, I can't do this.
Look, I'm a strong-minded person. I'm not ashamed to say it. That last year, I kind of, you've all seen it, yourselves anyway, unfolded. I lost it a bit. It does get to you, right? Even if you do have thick skin, this is what I'm saying. You can only take so much as a human being. And these people, you are vile. That's what you are. And I'm sorry to be so negative on this stream, right? But I'm sick of seeing Blue Bonnet tweeting up how she's not happy, Daniel being picked on, and others being picked. I'm sick of it. And then last night, then someone who I considered a friend decided to go after me because I won't sign a stupid petition after what they did. I'm sorry, but everybody criticised me over that Jodie Whittaker video, right? Some didn't because some felt it was news. I still stand by that, and I'm not actually going to apologise for that. At the time, I thought it was news, right? But I put up the wrong version, right? I'll apologise for that, right? But I lost friends because of that. But then after that incident, I swore that was it. There's no point. There's no. Chris Chibnall is the target here. Chris Chibnall is the one we should be focused on, the writing and his writing team. And there's just people that want to keep it to the same old argument. And he's been gone for 3 months. That's the thing. He was busy with the Brexit stuff. Then he thinks he can just come back in and take over. Well, I'm sorry. As I said, this campaign was started on this channel with the emails, and anybody that's here with me now will testify to that in the live chat. So don't be going around saying it's your campaign. If you want to keep up your silly little campaign with your 269 signs and your little petition.
I'm sorry. I mean, I know that it means a lot to the guy, but petitions don't work. I've seen people do it here in the politics. They just don't work.
They don't, not anymore. They don't. Look at what did the petition do for the Game of Thrones? That got over 1 million people.
Nothing.
That petition.
It got them in the news, but it still didn't do anything.
It didn't. Yeah, exactly. It didn't do that, and it didn't change. It didn't make them remake season 8. The only way to get to these people is direct contact. The time for petitions is over, and that's what I tried to say to him, but he just wouldn't listen. Then he started accusing me of being a snowflake and being a fake. I'm sorry, but you obviously haven't been watching my channel over the last 6-7 weeks. I've been on this panel, and Blue Banner will tell you every Sunday, ripping this show apart. Ripping this show apart. Right? So I don't know where
I mean, and my thing is that who cares how it happens as long as it happens. I mean, if the email things work or his thing work, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that, if we can get them to pay attention, that's the whole point.
Yeah, I don't mind if they did work, I'd support it. But look at all the ones that were for Series 11. Look at all the petitions that were there. We want Jodie Whittaker out. Not one of them.
I signed one for Series 11, but I didn't.
How did I? So I signed several. That's why I won't sign anymore. We should have done this email thing from the start. If we had done this 2 years ago, we'd be in a better position. But it's at least everybody's doing it. And I have to actually say well done to Daniel and Mr. Awesome so far. I know the Nerdaholics have also sent in their email. I sent in mine. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to check right while we're live now and see if I got a response, and I'll show you. Because that the thing about it is I just didn't like the way he went after me and start calling me fake, and you know me, anybody does that to me, I won't stop.
Yeah, I think that was in bad form.
And then I blocked him, and then he tried to say, then he wrote up another tweet. He blocked me. He doesn't support the campaign. He's a sellout. He actually asked me who paid me off, and I says, says the BBC, because we're getting rid of Chris Chibnall.
Well, that sounds a little paranoid.
Like, who paid me off? Come here for a minute, right? BBC have taken down videos that I've put up. I hate the BBC, right? So you don't have to worry about that, right? BBC complaints. Right now, I still have the one where they said they received my complaint, but I still haven't gotten a reply. Oh. Well, we'll wait.
Well, they are bombarded right now, so
that's what I mean. So it's working. And I'll keep saying it. But as I was reminded today by someone, though, they tweeted me just to make sure that I remind people, though, and it is true. When you are sending in an email, as I said, give examples, right? But try not to look at. Ideally, I would like you to keep away from the whole box ticking agenda and the whole female doc. Just concentrate on the writing. There's plenty in the writing to criticize. There's plenty of scenes that fans didn't like either. Remember that. Concentrate on them. Give examples, right? And say that you want a response, right? Now, the thing about it is, as you've noticed by the 2 responses that Daniel and Mr. Awesome got, they're pretty generic and they're nearly word for word. They've just changed a few words around. You will get a generic response, but don't let that dishearten you, because if you read the last paragraph, that's the paragraph that's interesting. He says, but your criticisms have been given to the producers of the show. So it's gone to the higher ups. So make sure you keep doing it. Just keep doing it. We'll see what happens. I mean, look, we've done more in 2 weeks than any petition did for Series 11. And if anybody could prove me wrong on a Series 11 petition that was fully signed, well, then fair enough, I'll put my hands up and say I was wrong. But I know for a fact that there isn't. Because last year, fans just didn't really give a crap. This year, it's slightly different. But they're still not going to sign. They know that petitions are not going to work. And unfortunately, right now, they're not. The email seems to be the one that is working. I mean, BBC put up a post to say that in a day, and that it's going to take them over 2 weeks to reply to some people.
And you know, it makes me wonder, like this article in The Guardian where they're trying to talk about how they're comparing the Deadly Assassin and how fans weren't happy with that too. It's kind of odd that article came out after all the, you know, they were saying they're being bombarded. It's like they're trying to like get ahead of it. Like, oh, well, these people are never happy. They're, you know what I mean? Like, it seems odd to me that article came out like today. I think Daniel like tagged me in it.
Yeah, he tagged me in it as well. Yeah. And I think you sent it to me as well, didn't you? A couple of people sent it to me. I was going to do it later on, you know, put it up there, let people see it. But yeah, there seems to be a lot of their propaganda stuff coming out lately.
And there's going to be more and more of that. The more, I guess, the more letters that come in, they're going to be doing that. I mean, that's just the BBC. And so don't let it thwart you. They're going to do that.
We got a £5 super chat. Hey, Noel, where did you get that music from your last New Images video? Very catchy story. Yeah, I have it here on my phone, mate. I'll tell you the name because it doesn't, believe it or not, it didn't have an artist when I looked. But yeah, I do like that one. I have to say, that's why I've used it a few times. See, on YouTube, you can get copyright-free music. So when you do a video, obviously, if you monetize it, you're not going to get a copyright strike. So it's what's it called? It's called War Music. That's just basically it. That's just what it's called. It's just called War Music. And I got it on YouTube. So go and check that out. And
I honestly don't have a problem with like I do that too. I put music in certain things, and I don't mind if the bands I like get money for it. Because to me, that's like, you know.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, some are copyright strikes, but some they actually get the money.
He brought up about that as well, about me subs, and I says, well, in reality though, I says me channel can't actually survive without subscribers. So, like, I mean, because he said I fear that I'll lose my channel. I'll say, listen, I lose subscribers every day, and I gain subscribers every day. That's the nature of YouTube, and you have to be somewhat successful on it to really stay on
to reach
platform.
People. You have to get big.
I mean, I know, that's what I mean. There was no talk,
and there's nothing wrong with getting paid for your time when you're doing a public service like that. And in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that. Wanting to be monetized, nothing wrong with that.
No, but look, YouTube is making it harder though.
Yeah, they are.
People didn't really give a crap about being monetized, but now people do, because YouTube have made it that way that, you know, once you get over the 1,000 subscriber mark, you're pretty okay. Once the channel is making enough, you know, they won't, if they think you're profitable. That's the way it is now. It's all about profits with YouTube. So whether people like it or not, you know, you have to make, you know, so he can say what he wants. You know I have criticized in the past, but I criticize people that ask people directly for money. I have not asked people on this channel directly for money. As I've always said, if people want to give something to the channel, that is brilliant. If they don't, fine, they still listen to me and I still talk to them. You know, it's not going to change what I do, whether I get money or not, because I've been doing it for how long now?
Almost 2 years now.
There you go. So, and I haven't been, and listen, I only got monetized in January. So think about it. You know, I don't give a crap. I still do this. Do you know what?
Right, you do it for free. I know that.
One subscriber, even if it was only you.
Right. Right, because you enjoy it.
Exactly.
You don't do as many streams. If you could do a 7-day stream, like 7 days every day, you would do it.
Of course I would, but like that.
Right, I know you can't, but I'm just saying. So you love what you do, and that's why you're successful.
And you love what you're doing as well, and you shouldn't
I
stop what
do.
you do. And Jason's very good as well, and the two of you should definitely do so. But I was thinking something as well. We should do, more of those UFO streams.
Yeah. Yeah, you and him are much more knowledgeable on that than me. I'm more the paranormal geek.
Yeah, but we could do paranormal as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we can.
UFO paranormal. I know Gary and Doomcock do something similar, but it seems to be popular. And I mean, look,
It is. People
at the end of the
love
day,
that.
right, people have to realize, right, our channels will still be focusing on Doctor Who, but when Doctor Who is over, and then obviously when we find out, when we start getting bits of information, we'll throw that out. But obviously, we'll have to keep the channels obviously active, so we'll have
Right.
to do.
And there's plenty of Doctor Who content we can do that with. Like I'm doing Doctor rewatches,
That's it. We'll do a few of them as well. Yeah, actually, I want to do a few of them. Those UFO paranormal streams are great. Your very own Exozone. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like 1 week it could be on my channel, another week it could be on Jason or Blue Bonner, Julia's channel, whoever's channel. Like, and that way, then everybody. Oh, that sounds like a good idea. But we'd have to come up with a name.
Yeah.
We can't obviously call it the Exozone because that's taken. And I love the way they say zone because I use zone in everything, so I can't even use zone. I tell you what, if you and Jason come up with a cool name for it.
I'm pretty good at that. I'm lost. And it's weird because I write, but I just can't. I'm not good with titles.
And come here, we'll promote it then on all our channels then, and we'll get people interested in it. I could even do a few Irish paranormal stories, show you a few articles, read you out a few things, The live scream.
Yeah, I'm pretty obsessed with that part. I've studied a lot and really read some really weird, bizarre things that people are like, yeah. You need to put your tinfoil hat on now.
Yeah. You know what's funny, right? I'll give you a laugh. Last year when Cheryl was over here and we were we were only newlyweds obviously. And we'd be on YouTube every day, and guess what we'd watch? Those creepy videos, the footage of stuff that you can't really identify, people
like Bigfoot.
Yeah, and stuff. Right? And then then she says to me one night, now, Cheryl, you have to understand, can't do horror. But she goes, come on, put on the paranormal. So she start watching There's one in Cork, in a school in Cork. I don't know if you have seen it.
I might have. I've gone through a lot of them, but
it is absolutely brilliant, man. If it's fake, it's the best fake I've ever seen. But it's it's basically a school right at night time, so it's completely empty, and then you just see the presses starting to move, and then a chair just goes across the floor, but there's nothing there. It's very good. It was even featured on the news. It did. And even the school principal was playing the interview, and he said, "No, it wasn't a trick by any students or anything like that. It was definitely real." I was like, "Oh my god!" But there is a few of those paranormal stories in Ireland because Ireland being Celtic, we would have some horror stories, so we could do that.
Yeah, there's a few here in Texas as well. Believe it or not, there's some creepy, creepy stuff. That
it's nice though. Texas, Jesus, come on. There'd have to be. It is creepy everywhere.
There is. In fact, it's 1979. We had the Cash Landrum thing where the two women were saw basically saw a UFO. Yeah. They were affected by it, and they ended up getting cancer. And I think both of them ended up dying. I think the only one that survived was the little boy. So, yeah, and that was like 2 miles where I grew up. Down the street. So I was about 7. So it was a big deal. So that was exciting for our little town.
Wow. The closest thing we came to was me, as I told you, my creepy story where I ended up the top of the stairs, and I don't know how I ended up
there. That's
still a mystery. But there was a girl in. See, I used to live. I don't know what it's like in America. So, in working class areas, they used to build flats. You know, be a bit like how do I explain it, guys? How do I explain flats to
Just
someone who's from America? Because
basically they're complexes.
yeah, right. Do you know, like, did you see Greenfell Tower? Remember when that went up in flames and it was all over the news in
Yeah.
Britain? Yeah. Well, I used to live in something similar to that, right? Growing up. I don't know what point I was actually trying to make now. It's totally, I've totally, oh, and it was a good point. What was I was gonna, I don't even know what point I was even trying to make, but I was bringing that up for a reason. What did we say before?
Probably about paranormal or
Oh,
alien.
yeah. So we used to live in a block of flats like that, right? So every morning we'd get up, go to school. There'd be about 20 bleeding kids in the same block of flats, so we'd be all walking to school. And we used to pass, when we were going to school, we used to pass this before we got to the lollipop lady. It was a lollipop lady back in those days. Um, there used to be this old abandoned house, and it was never blocked up properly. But you know, I always used to say to my man, oh, who lives there? And my ma used to say, you know, being Irish, the witch, right?
Oh yeah.
Don't ever go in there, right? It's haunted, right? But I swear, one day we were coming home from school, and one of the girls that was with us disappeared, right? And we were like, where? Next of all, hear a scream. And there she starts swallowing her bleeding tongue. She says she's seen something. Never knew what it was though. But she swore she seen some darkly figure. And it was just like, wow. My ma told me a story about a dog, a black dog following her.
Oh yeah, that's
And my auntie as well, but they believed they were being followed by someone else, and the dog was actually protecting them. Now they're Irish kind of stories that they tell the kids. Like we get told stories about banshees and stuff, and then our parents just let us watch horrors. That's why I'm not.
See, I'd been perfect in that family. My dad actually, the bedtime story that he read us as kids was The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, because what else, you know? So I have him to thank for that side that of the macabre that I'm fascinated with. So, nowadays, people be like, wanting to put the parent, call the CPS on the parent. How dare you read such horrible.
Yeah,
that was just every day in my, in my family was just they didn't think anything about that.
We were ever out in line, me ma, even out in public, you'd get a clatter and nobody said Now you did that, sure you'd be arrested. Other parents would be jumping on you and baiting the crap out of you. Listen, I'm not saying it's right to hit kids, right? But I seen two things today that totally actually disgust me, right? And I don't know why I didn't do that, but I felt like if I had done that, someone would have went into the liffey, and I probably would have been charged with drowning someone.
Right.
So I was walking across. If anybody knows Dublin city centre, for anybody that doesn't, there's a famous bridge called O'Connell Bridge that you walk across. Now, this bridge is now famous for the amount of homeless people that do be on it. So I was walking in front of three young lads, and they were obviously smoking a joint. They were, right? And I had me earphones on, and I had me bag of shopping on because Cheryl actually stayed in bed. And I was walking, and there was a homeless girl. She was there. She was minding her own business. She had her cup in front of her, but she was reading a book sitting on her bag. She wasn't paying anybody attention. She wasn't bothering anybody. What does that lad do? Decides that it's a good idea to use her as a human ashtray.
Oh my God.
Flash all over. Now, Blue Bonnet, I swear, I could feel the blood rush to me head. And I actually literally nearly took off my earphone. But the only thing that stopped me was Cheryl's head voice in the background. No, there's three of them. They could have a knife or something, and you're gone. You
Yeah.
are doing the right thing, but not in this day and age, sort of thing.
Right.
And I just kept walking behind them all the way up the top of the road. And I felt like I wanted to kick this bollocks. I want to kick him in the head. I want to do something. What a dirty little toe rag. And you know what? It actually pisses me off that I didn't do that. But I know if I had of,
You
because
never
this is
know.
what's happened in Ireland. No, but this is what's happening in Ireland right now. So 2 weeks ago, a couple got off the Lewis, which is a tram system that they've built in Ireland, and it's only up the road from me. And they were set upon by a bunch of 15 and 16-year-olds, and they were beaten to a pulp. Your man ended up with a fractured skull or something like that, and she ended up with facial injuries, right? Tonight, I see on the bus, we have bus timetables, but they're electronic. I see that the bus now is not going all the way up now because of anti-social behaviour. Unfortunately, what's happened in Ireland right now is the youth have actually lost the plot, and not all of them now, but most of them. And there's a lot of violence. There's a lot of people dying. There's other kids killing each other and everything. This country has actually lost control. And why? Well, number one, the government has cut back on the Gardaí, but number two, there's actually a drug war going on in Dublin City right now, where there's drug dealers being shot left, right, and centre. So the Gardaí are actually more invested in that than the actual antisocial behaviour that's going on around the towns and the cities, and the youth have actually lost control. And it's
Yeah.
actually sad because Irish kids in general. Look, I was a little prick when I grew up. No, I broke it. Look, we broke into factories and everything, right? Nothing illegal. It was just factories that were empty. You know, they were abandoned factories, things like that. We broke into building sites just to sit there. So, as kids, we could have a couple of cans or whatever, right? Nothing really. We didn't give any lip. We certainly weren't carrying around any knives or guns, right?
Right.
In the old days, if we wanted to fight, we actually used their fists, right? But nowadays, unfortunately, see, I would have grabbed him and actually threw him into the liffey without a second thought, because that was totally disgusting what he did. You don't use someone as a human ashtray. How fucking dare you? They're a human being.
Yeah, and that's awful. I
Like,
mean, I have to say, I probably would give him. I probably would have. I probably not even thought about it and given him like a scolding, you know. But
see,
you're right. You don't
Cheryl will
know
tell
what.
you, you
Yeah, I
can't do
know. And
that
I
to
honestly,
especially Irish kids. They lose their head. Listen, some guy bumped into some guy in the city centre where I actually was, right, where I was thinking of throwing him over tonight, right? And some fella and his girlfriend were walking by, and your man bumped into him. And the fella that was with the girlfriend apologised, said, "Oh, very sorry about that. I didn't mean it, mate." And your man, it's okay. 5 minutes later, right, your man walks off. 5 minutes later, your man comes running down the road and stabs him with a screwdriver and kills him.
God.
All because he bumped into him. Right? That's the way how bad it's gone in Ireland. Now, even Cheryl said, because she was watching, so she goes, "Geez, no, I'm starting to get worried about your country." And I said, "You know what? So I'm bleeding out. This was never like this. This wasn't even like this last year. This is the worrying thing. This is just in the last couple of months, there just seems to be
I
this."
don't think it's just Ireland. I think that people are just more angry now. Like they have a chip on their shoulder. Like they're just ready to like just, jump down your throat or, I mean they just are. I think it's like that here too.
Yeah, I don't mind if they fight fair though. I don't mind an old fashioned fist fight. If I get knocked out, I get knocked out. But at least I know I'm going to be alive. I'm just going to have a bit of a headache and maybe a black eye. You know. But
Well,
nowadays,
here we have to deal with the Mexican mafia actually. So we have to be very careful. they steal cars. They've actually, they killed people.
Wow.
So you don't know, because of the situation where they're just getting over the border. It's mostly Texas needs to be protected because we have a lot of the mafia here.
Yeah.
Especially the closer you are to Mexico, yeah, and the mafia it's coming over here. They're the ones that coming over here illegally. That's the problem. So, you do have to be careful. You have to be really careful because you never know. You really
That's
don't.
it. You're right. And we're taking in 40,000 refugees, right? No problem with us taking in 40,000 refugees, by the way. I just want to put that out there, right?
Right.
If they were all legit
But
refugees, right?
right.
Second of all, right, I wouldn't have a problem with us taking in 40,000 refugees if there wasn't 100,000 families in hotels and on the streets of Ireland
Yeah.
because of the homeless situation. See, I don't mind taking in anybody, right? But if I was in government, I would make sure that there was enough houses for my own people before I
Exactly.
start bringing in other people. Now that is not racist, right? That's
Nothing wrong with
looking and
that.
you look at you're born in this country. I'm not saying you should be entitled straight away to a house, but if you work bloody hard, you know, and you pay your dues, then you should be entitled to something over your head, roof over your head. A lot of these people that are in these hotels basically lost their houses. By the way, the banks took them back when the banks went under because they missed one mortgage payment. Now, one. Remember back in the height when everybody had money, if you missed one mortgage payment, it wasn't a big deal because they knew they'd get it. But
Right.
now the banks are hungry for money now, so they're
Hmm.
foreclosing on people's houses and they end up in hotels and B&Bs and on the street. Some women, even there was one last year, a woman in the car with her four kids sleeping up in Tallaght, right? And for anybody that does, that's near the foot of the Dublin Mountains, right? And it was fucking cold winter last year, and she was in a car with her four kids sleeping in the bloody back. Absolutely disgraceful. And we want to take in refugees. Where are we going to
Yep.
put them? But no, here's the thing. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. But we'll have houses for them.
Well, yeah, it's the same way here.
Now, if anybody wants to know why people go crazy and people are mad, that's why people go crazy and people go mad because they believe that their own people should be looked after first. But then when they see someone else come into the country and get a house, when there's someone on a waiting list waiting on a house, then that just doesn't make sense to me. Do you get me? It's not
Yeah.
anything to do with race. It's just
We're going through it right now. My mom is she needs rehabilitation for her stroke, right?
right. Yeah.
Well, the insurance only covers so much, and then it's out of her pocket, and she makes too much money and she's on a fixed income. She doesn't
Wow.
I mean, hardly any savings. She doesn't apply for Medicaid because she makes too much money. But
Wow.
yet somebody coming over here illegally has it
I
handed
know.
to them.
I
So
know.
yeah, I totally understand.
I
It's
know,
messed up
and you know
system.
what? People don't like Donald Trump saying these things, but that is the bottom line. That he's right. He's right when he says these things. That's why he needs to stop these people coming over. If they're legit and they're coming over
Yeah.
to work, he has no problem. Has he ever said he has a problem with working?
No, we want people that want to build this country
Exactly.
up.
But there you go. Justin Doyle with another £5 super chat. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate it. He says in the last episode, the expression on the doctor's face when the fan was surprised by Byron and the gang was not the face of an 800-year-old Time Lord. I'm sorry we kind of shifted away from Doctor Who,
It's okay.
but
It happens.
yeah, I agree. A lot of people did criticize that scene as well. Actually, Justin, they didn't. I mean, she's not convincing. She's not convincing.
Yeah, this is nothing new. I mean, she's not going to get any better, and
No.
I don't expect
But
her to
they
be
think
like
she, no,
the
no.
doctor.
Cheryl said to me today, I always notice when they comment, they always say how beautiful Jodie Whittaker is. Right? Nothing about her performance, just how beautiful she was in the scene.
Well, they've got her kind of plain. They refused to put her in a dress. I mean, even in this episode, did you notice that they couldn't even put her in a Victorian style dress and make her pretty?
I
They
know.
just couldn't do it.
I
So
know.
it's like, yeah. I mean, I've seen Jodie Whittaker look very pretty.
I know she's not a bad looking woman now, I have to admit.
Right.
You
But
know,
but
she's just
why?
not
But
getting
I
her
don't know why
material.
they're so against making her feminine.
That's what I said to Cheryl, and I'm not being sexist here, but I says, I wonder if we had a sexier doctor. I mean, if Jodie Whittaker was dressed as a sexier doctor, would there be as much complaints?
There probably would still be, but it would probably be. But she's sure pretty. She's sure sexy. But she can't act. But I enjoy looking at
Yeah,
her. It'd be that.
that's the problem.
And I don't have a problem with I wouldn't have a problem with the sex. I mean, if she was attractive and she could act, that would be even better. I mean, that'd be like, okay, great, I can get behind this. But nah.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
Which will be another woman.
Yeah, sorry, Jodie. You're just not. Your acting ability is just not good enough for Doctor Who.
No, it's not. It never. And the thing is about these trolls is like, they're just like, they're so invested in her being a woman. They're not. They don't even care that the stories are bad or her acting. It's just the fact that she's a woman. And if you say anything that you don't like the episode, you don't even have to mention the fact that you don't want a woman doctor in your stream or your video. It's just, well, you're a hater.
Yeah, the Nerdaholics, this is the thing. In interviews, she dresses up quite well. Well, she does wear a lot of trouser suits, though. They're always weird.
She dresses weird. Let's be honest.
Her fashion sense is not great.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's a little, I mean, but I've seen when she's dressed up in photo shoots that she's actually like, wow, like you should wear more of that. Yeah.
I will say the suit that she wore at the Welsh BAFTAs I praised at the time. I did think she looked well there, even if she did look like a bit of a Tardis. But she did look all right. Daniel has put up and has continued to put up the complaints link. So there's 56 years there. If 56 years could actually take a few minutes out of your time and write a quick email to the BBC, tell them why they don't like Doctor Who, as I said, give a few examples of few scenes that might have rubbed you up the wrong way. Not the usual. And tell them that you want to reply. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Keep it up, guys, because it's working. Because Daniel got a response. Mr. Awesome got a response. I know a couple of people in here in the live chat have already told me they've sent an email. Actually, interestingly enough, I'm going to put some of you on the spot right now, unfortunately. But how many in this live chat right now has actually sent an email to the BBC just for a matter of interest?
And so I'll throw it out there. I haven't yet, but I'm planning on doing it.
No,
I've just been extremely busy. If I could send one of my videos, I would, but yeah.
Sorry, you've been.
But I can admit that I'm slacking.
And you're working. You have an excuse. If you've been working, fine, right? But if you haven't, you have no excuse.
And I also want to put it in the right terms as well.
That's it. That's what I'm saying to everybody as well. Make sure your word are proper. I'm not saying sound intelligent, because you are intelligent. Trust me, you wouldn't be listening to me, and you wouldn't know that this serious is shit if you weren't intelligent. Trust me, right? But I'll just say this, because even me, I come across as blunt and raw. I try to sound intelligent in writing. Me email, if you know what I'm trying to say. Because you know me, if I was to talk it out, it'd be nothing like the way I wrote it. Trust me. I'd be like, "Oi, get the chibs out." What the fuck?
Right. Yeah, there's tact.
And I gave some examples as well, and yeah, that's the best way to do it, I think.
Take your time, and people should take their time with it.
Yeah, listen. Just write your email out. If you can get it in before Sunday's episode, brilliant. If you can't get it in while Sunday's episode is on, even watch Sunday's episode, and there's something in that episode that annoys you, add that to the email. Because you know what? After Sunday's episode, you know what I'm going to be doing? Sending another one.
Yeah, they need to know.
I'm going to send another one, and then I'm going to send another one again, then another one, and then when the episode next week comes up, I'm going to send another one, and I'm going to keep sending them. They may be able to ignore 3 or 4 of them. They won't ignore what they're telling you. I want the response off every single one of those. Do you know what? I'd love to hear from Chibnall himself. I'd love if I got a response off him. Be deadly.
They might have had to hire somebody to deal with this too, like an
extra. They have heard someone. They have heard someone, because there's no way they normally deal with complaints a lot, but they even said it the high volume. When I heard those words, the first thought that came into my head was, fair play to the Doctor Who fandom. He's legends. No fucking time. And you're right. That scene with Graham, I don't care. They could spin it every way they want to. It was highly disrespectful. Even the whole thing about bullying and mental health, disrespectful, right? They shoehorn all this crap in, and apparently we're supposed to be happy because it's in it. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not happy. Maybe the other side are happy and they're willing to accept that mediocrity, right? But I'm not. Right? If you're going to do something like that, you either do it properly or you don't do it at all. Yeah. I don't want to be preaching all night. So, do you think Sunday's episode will get reasonable ratings? I reckon we're on a high for the next 2.
Yeah. I tend to think people are going to tune in because out of curiosity. But I could be wrong.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm not looking forward to it. I mean,
I'm not really looking forward to it, but BBC are promoting the hell out of it on Twitter anyway. I'll tell you, both sides, America and the normal one, they're really pumping out the old.
Trust me, nobody in America cares. They really don't.
This out. I have to actually read this out. I hope I actually took a screenshot of it, because this is brilliant, right? I'm not messing. This is brilliant, right? This shows you how desperate they are, right? So this is Chris Chibnall. This is from the clown's mouth, right? Or the chin ball's mouth, right? He says, right? This is what he says, right? He's ready. Prepare yourselves, right, to be blown away, right? He's ready.
Yeah.
You think you're going to need a very strong drink? Well, trust me and Blue Bonnet will be drinking. It's a 65-minute finale. Wow, we're getting an hour and 5 minutes. We should be really happy about that, guys. It's big. Well, we fucking hope so. It's a finale. It's action-packed. Wow, so no substance. I get it. It's very, very epic, right? Which means boring. And very, very, very emotional. So the companions are dying. Brilliant. Thanks for giving that away. We already know what's happened. If you think this is actually right, we're all fools. We already know it's predictable, because you're a predictable twat. And there is a blistering performance from Jodie Whittaker. Blistering yet to me bloody eyeballs, because I want to put bleeding over them. Chibnall on the finale. # Doctor Who. Go and kiss my blah, blah, blah.
It'll be so underwhelming. It won't be funny. Every time he praises something, you already know it's going to suck.
Even if there is action in it, it doesn't matter. The action will probably be smoke and mirrors, because there'll be nothing of substance anyway.
Right. It'll have some PSA, and it'll be pieced together like all the other episodes have been. And we might see the Master. We might.
Look at it. Look. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Master. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a 3rd female Doctor. Those rumors of Judy. I know she's playing a different character, but remember, so was Sasha, and then he turned out to be the Master. So this could be smoke and mirrors again, and she could be a 3rd Doctor. Right? Now, if BBC say they still don't have an agenda, well, then I would like them to explain to me even why they decided that 2 female doctors were necessary anyway. But if they do the 3rd one, Why a trade? Why that's
Well, if you look back at what not Nerdaholics, Nerdrotic said about there being 13 female incarnations. I mean,
right. So let's just throw this out there. Say in the finale, now remember there's 2 episodes, so an hour and 5 minutes, 65 minutes. We should be privileged, guys. He gave us an extra 10 minutes, so we should stand up and give him a clap. Yeah, nobody's gonna clap you clown. Right. Anyway, imagine if he did it in the two finale episodes, and we actually did get 13 female.
he might string it along to episode series 13 with the doctors as well. I mean, I don't know if we'll get all of them, but we may get a couple more.
Look at this is the way it goes. If he doesn't go after the special, and she doesn't regenerate in that special, well then you're gonna kill the show. It's as simple as that. Someone said to me today, it's a 5-year plan. Well, I'm going to tell you now, right? And this is not some big ego that I have or anything like that. He is not going to have a 5-year plan.
No, it's not going to make it. I'll be surprised if it makes it.
5-year plan.
No, it may not even make it to series 13 at this rate.
Listen for a minute, right? If they come out and announce that Jodie Whittaker is actually staying, and I mean the BBC themselves, not her, right? The BBC actually say that she is staying for Series 13 and Chris Chibnall is also staying, right? You can be guaranteed by Series 13 it won't have an audience, right? Because after Series 12, people are only seeing where this goes because now people are worried about canon. I am telling you now, those two stick around, this show is dead. Dead. You want to resurrect this show some way.
I better do it after series 12.
Now. And look, Jodie gave it her best go. She's just not good enough. Well done, but she just weren't good enough. As for Chris Chibnall, he's not getting any praises whatsoever. He's a clown. He's managed in 2 years to destroy a show. And by the way, they're blaming the fact that they kept it off TV for too long. That's why it hasn't done well. No.
They blame the fans too. They do anything but admit that they made a mistake.
But here's the thing. I'll tell you what yous did. See, after Series 11, you seen Series 11, yeah, you seen the backlash, right? So what you decided to do was wait a year because you thought the fandom would have calmed down by that. So don't be giving me this bullshit that you've waited too long. You've waited too long deliberately because you thought this fandom was going to calm down and they wouldn't be opposed to Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. And then to make it even better, you decided to throw the Judoon, which, as I said, we're an improvement on what we've seen before. But you've given us Cybermen, right? And you're giving us all the Captain Jack. You're giving us all these member berries. And you thought that'd be enough to stop the fans from complaining any further. Well, further can be the truth. Because Chris Chibnall has done one thing that no other showrunner would even dare do. And that is try tinker around with canon. And especially Bill Hartnell's canon. Right? Because everybody thinks that this regeneration or this cycle is before William Hartnell, and we're not going to stand for that as fans. That is disrespectful to Bill and every other man that played the Doctor before Jodie Whittaker. How dare you? And that's why he's not going to get this 5-year plan. It's not good. We're not going to let it happen. We're the fans here. Remember, these J-bots, there's not enough of them. You can see it already. The ratings are tanking. And you still have people defending them, or they're still better than Series 10. I don't care. Series 10.
I still hear that.
Stop comparing Series 10 to this. Series 10 was on a Saturday. And remember, Peter Capaldi's era, as I've explained already, was on multiple time slots over his tenure. So you cannot judge those two when she's on a cushy Sunday night. I'm sick of people doing that.
I hear it all the time. I heard it today.
Do you know what? I would even just beg fans to go back and watch Peter Capaldi's era again and start going into the likes of Rotten Tomatoes and all those yokes and getting and just making everything go up, and then they can't use.
You know what I did with Peter Capaldi's era? I actually went in and I feel that way anyway, but I gave every episode a 10.
Good.
Because he's in it, not necessarily the writing, but I think people need to do that. You need to go back into all your favorite doctors and vote those episodes up. If you love that episode, go on IMDb. There's not enough votes. Even Classic Who, I do that too. You know.
Actually, Chris brings up a great point, but I want to read this one, another £5 super chat by Justin Doyle. Thank you again, mate. If Jodie had have played the role more demure and mysterious like Sapphire and Steel, then she could have been good, but sadly not. We have made the point, though, on this panel. Well, I have. I don't know if people necessarily agree with me, but I said when she's had to do some serious stuff, when the dialogue has been pretty decent, and she's not pulling those mad faces, she can actually do well. There was 2 incidents in this series where I genuinely believed her. It was when she opened the door and she saw Gallifrey being destroyed. I genuinely did. By the look on her face, I knew something bad had gone wrong. And the other one was when she was on the plane and the Master was revealing himself. The face on her when she knew she'd been screwed over and he'd gotten the better of her. That face was priceless. That actually convinced me as well. But when she gets dialogue, when she's being all serious, she's okay, but she's still not at the standard, unfortunately, that we need for this show. She was the wrong actress to bring in if you were going to bring in an actress, but I still do believe that the Doctor is
the male.
A male.
And I think that more and more.
No, I'm not coming around to anybody's point of view. All I'm just saying is that in certain incidents, which I have said on this channel, is that certain scenes she has done okay in, yes, but she's still not at the point. But no, I still don't think if she was directed well and the writing was better, she'd be any better.
No, and like he's saying Sapphire and Steel, and you're talking about Joanna Lumley she's also an absolutely fabulous. She would have been much better.
Yeah, but again, a female
doctor. It has to do with, I think women act differently.
It is. That's what it is.
And I think
everybody for 6 years, 57, whatever it is now, has been used to the Doctor with a female companion or maybe a bloke and a woman, right? That's always been the formula, right? He's even broke formula. He's brought in 3 companions. Look, it doesn't work because if you have too many companions, they did it in the Peter Davison era. Didn't you? Had, what was it, Tegan, Nissa, and Adric for a while.
And then they had Turlough for a while too.
Yeah, and then Turlough. It doesn't work because you have to give them all screen time, don't you?
And I kind of think that was, believe it or not, like I did watch I did watch Modern Undead today and actually enjoyed that much better this time. And you know what? And the thought I had about that, and this you know is a reference to this too, is that it kind of does the Doctor a disservice.
Yeah,
because you're so focused on these other like side little character stories, and you have to go back and forth between all these companions, and it takes away the time with the Doctor. And to me, it's a disservice. It was a disservice to Peter Davison in some of his episodes as well. And I'm not a huge Peter Davison fan, so for me, say that. So I think that it could work the same way with Jodie Whittaker, even though she is bad.
Actually, here's a great question, because this brings us on to an article that was only brought out recently, and this is from me mod. So if me mod's asked a question, I will put a question up on the screen, obviously. But here's a question, and he says, I have a serious question. How long does it take to film 10 episodes? Now, that's in reference to the recent article, again, from the Radio Times, which suggests that maybe, we're basically expecting too much to have 10 episodes a year, right? Now, under RTD and under Moffat, they managed to give us what? 12?
Yeah.
Yeah. 12 a year, right? Now, as far as I'm aware, Chris Chibnall has a bigger budget too. Um, and also does less episodes. So he does 10. Now, want to point out to people out there, especially all you radical feminists out there, Jodie Whittaker is getting paid the same as Peter Capaldi, but does less work. But I don't hear he is actually kicking up a stink about that. Where he is, nobody's picking up for Peter Capaldi. Why aren't you demanding that she's paid less for doing less work? Second of all, Chris Chibnall is also doing less work. So why is he being paid what he's being paid? Right. If you're asking me, can they throw out 12 episodes a year for Doctor Who? Most certainly, and I'll tell you how they can do it. They film one, don't they? They have that film, right? While that one is airing, they can go and film for the next series. Have it ready to go then when they want to air date. There is no excuse now, right? And I brought this up, right? These are the few problems that you're gonna have when you also cast a woman as the Doctor. Unfortunately, it's not unfortunately. It's part of nature, part of motherhood. That when women have kids, they want to have a few more. They don't normally just stick with the one. And she has spoke about wanting to have more kids in the future. So as we Doctor Who fans, so if she stays on, she ends up being pregnant. Does that mean now we have to wait again? Because that's unfair. I'm sorry, it's unfair. You take this job, right? It's a full-time job. This is why I've always said an older actor, or if you're gonna go down the actress route, which I don't agree with, but if you do go down that route, an older actress as well, their kids are grown up. They don't really have to worry about having more kids. I know that sounds, a bit bad, but this is the nature of the show. It takes up a lot of time.
Yeah, it does. And if you want to play with the big boys, and that's what she does, then you have to.
Exactly. And Matt Smith, even though he left, right? He's actually come out even, I think it was last year, and said he actually regrets leaving Doctor Who. But it was the schedule. He said the schedule is quite demanding. So she knew this when she was taking the role. And I'm not blaming her because she's not the one that's putting out the 10 episodes. This is him. So what's his excuse? Right? He's the showrunner. Is he that incompetent that
it can't be for quality? I mean, because
right? And that's what they tried to say then. But if we get 18 months to 2 years, we'll get better quality.
No, you don't. Not with him. I would say that with anyone else. Like, I would agree with that. Because I actually think that's good. Like Breaking Bad, good example.
Yeah.
They took their time. You might get 8, 9 episodes, maybe, but they were really great, stellar episodes. Every episode was perfect. Listen, you don't get that with him.
Exactly. Listen, RTD could do it, right? And even Stephen Moffat did it, right? And I know we want a Stephen Moffat series because someone would bring this up. But he took a break, Jordan. What? Yeah, I know that. That's fine. That's fair enough. That was BBC's decision, not his, though. But he still produced, up until then, a series a year and a special.
Plus specials.
Right?
Yeah.
And Chibnall can't even do that. Right? So this is the man that BBC hired. All right? So, yes, I personally believe they can pump out 12 episodes a year. Easy. Right?
And I think they were good quality and good acting. I don't think people would be griping if there was just 10 episodes, if they were so good. And I think that's the problem. Like it's 10 episodes of complete filler. You might get a scene through the whole series that's decent.
Right, fair enough. If they don't want to give us 12 anymore and they want to give us 10 and a special, say. Right? And as you said, the quality is good. Fine. But we're not getting, as you said, we're not getting that right now. She's getting paid the same as Peter Capaldi. God knows how much he's getting paid, right? You've seen all the exotic locations that they've actually filmed in. It's meant absolutely nothing to the show at all. It's like, we're in these, look at this lovely location. We're here for about 5
Right.
minutes.
It's like Chibnall wants to take a vacation. Oh, okay. We'll just charge it to the BBC and do like
Why,
a couple
why
scenes
not
there.
stay in fucking Cardiff in a
Yeah.
fucking studio? You use less fucking money, right? And build your fucking sets like they used to in the old days, you
Mm-hmm.
knobhead. Does he know anything? And he can't construct the story either anyway. He just needs to go. He's not getting his 5 year plan because trust me, this side of the fan we have made we have said we're not stopping until he's gone. And I mean that. I'm certainly not anyway. And I know there's a lot of other people that are with me. But if it gets too hot for people, which it is for a few, I understand. But I'm not going. If I have to die in this chair, I'll die in this chair. Right? He's gone. He's not. There's no way he's fulfilling his whole
Well,
agenda.
it's going to be canceled before then, unless they change it right now and go. They need to go, and we need to changing of the guards, so to speak. It's going to be canceled if they continue and they let him continue with Series 13 and let her continue. It's over. There's no way the show can survive unless they do something.
Original doc. And do you know what? It is one of the greatest episodes. Yes, it is. You are absolutely spot on. And you're right. It was filmed in one castle and some place in the studio. And
with two actors.
Stupid. Yeah, and two actors. Yeah, yeah. That's how you write Doctor Who, Chris Chibnall. Are you listening? Are you learning?
I mean, I'm ready for them to go back to the old way and do the 7-story arc, 22 to 24 minutes.
I wouldn't give a crap if they start doing that. Wouldn't give a crap once it's decent. Do you know what? At this stage, I just want him gone. People need to realise, right? I don't give a crap about Jodie Whittaker anymore. I want him gone. Right?
Yeah.
She will go. She's already said if he goes, she's going to go anyway. So
right.
I want him gone. Right? He's destroying this show in front of our eyes. And please, guys, I beg you, anybody that hasn't wrote in an email, I know Blue Bonnet has already told me her reasons, and I know because she's always busy, right? But the rest is, when you get a chance, please send in an email to the BBC. It's working. They're already said they're inundated with emails, and it's going to take them ages, right? So just keep doing what you are doing. You're making a difference. This guy is not going to fit. He's not going to get to finish what he started. Mark my words, that man is not going to finish what he started. We will, but look at, I'm serious about this. We will bring down this whole show if we have to.
And that's all we can. That's all I'm hoping for right now. Just that. Right. Just so that he can't continue. His reign of terror needs to stop. That's all I care about.
It means the show has to be brought down. Well, then it will be. It will be, because there's no way we are going to allow this go any further. We will we will go into full campaign mode after Series 12, right? And we're going to rally this fandom. We're going to have a year, because he's going to make us wait another year to 18 months now for another series. So we have 18 months to get our shit into order and get ready, because he's not finishing that 5-year plan. No way.
There's no way. If they do that, like, they're really delusional, because there'll be like 2 people watching the show and like they'll still be going. You can't tell me that.
If he destroys William Hartnell's legacy, Patrick Troughton's, John Pertwee, Tom Baker, and every single one of those other guys that played that Doctor, if he ruins their legacy with this crap that he's flaunting right now, yeah.
Well, he's not going to ruin it. He's not ruining it for me, because I don't accept it.
What he's going to do. So we got to see too. It's the battle lines have been drawn, basically, right? If we want him out, we've got to start doing stuff now for serious, right? I've been asking this for weeks to send emails, right? Now I know some have been busy, like Blue Bonnet, and she has, because she's been on the panels with me. She's been doing her own videos as well, and she's been editing our videos. We've been texting. with Jason, and she's been editing videos and stuff. It's crazy, like 3 o'clock in the morning for me here. I don't know what time it is there, like mad hours, right? People don't realize the amount of effort, and she actually even said it to me. Jeez, I didn't realize the amount of effort that goes into it. But she enjoys it just like I do. So I'm going nowhere. Look at this campaign continues until he's gone, right? So just please, if you haven't sent in an email, as soon as possible, as soon as you can do it. Few minutes, it'll only take you a few minutes, literally 10 minutes to compose an email, get you a point of view across. Even as I said, give some examples. Try keep out the whole diversity thing out of it and the feminist agenda, because they don't listen to those type.
Well, and they're looking for that. They're already on the prowl about that. Exactly. They're already like talking about how people that think that are trolls.
Exactly. So just that's what I'm saying. Just keep it about the stories themselves, and they can't go to then exactly then when if they do come out and say, because someone will ask them about, well, have you been getting complaints? Yeah, we have. But they can't then come out and say, yeah, but most of them have been from racist, sexist pigs. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, they may do that anyway, but at least you're doing the right thing.
Well, and also, anybody that has sent an email, right, and you get a response, right? Now, if you don't want me to put your name up on it, don't have to. The other two guys let me, right? But if you don't want to put your name up on top of the email, send me your email and I'll put it up on the channel. I want to see, this is why I'm putting these videos up. I want to show you that even though the replies are generic and they're basically both the same, as I said, the interesting paragraph is that your complaint has been, the executive producers have been made aware of your complaint and has gone to them directly, right? So keep it up.
Also, if you have a video camera and you have a YouTube account, make a video.
Exactly.
I mean, as many videos as you can. If you do that and you're writing letters, and they can't ignore that forever. If they see a bunch of YouTube channels come up with, talking about what they don't like about a certain episode, they can't. I mean, how
just to let you know, I'm not the only channel that's doing it. I can actually say on this channel now that the next time that Ballstrick does a Doctor Who video, he will be instructing his followers. He has 30,000 followers.
Yeah. Actually, I think he has more than that, doesn't he now? 43?
Yeah, he's over that. Yeah, I think he's over that now. Yeah, sorry. But still, if even 1 out of 2 of those, out of all of those subscribers, right, that's over 15,000 emails, right? This is how big, I told you. And he's asked other YouTubers to do the same. Now, I'll find out if those other YouTubers are on board. But if BBC actually think that the pile of emails that they're getting now are loads, this is what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. When he does it, it's going to be like, they're going to have to hire 3 people.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm not slagging anybody if you want to peddle a petition, right? But we've gone past that now. Direct action's what needed. And this is what I mean by direct action. And trust me, there is no way that if Ballstrick does that, which he said he will, right? When he does that in his next Doctor Who video, right? Even if he got 1/3 of his subscribers to write an email, that's still over a couple of thousand.
And they have to, at some point, they have to stop putting in these articles that we're trolls, that we don't, we're just trolls. At some point, if you get enough, they can't sit there and keep saying that.
Exactly. Right. And these are, and look at, they'll be instructed to do the same, to just give your points, get your points across, give examples, but keep the email, nice and polite, as we've said as well. We don't want any of you, getting into a heated argument saying, F him and this, that, and the other. Keep it nice and polite, get your points across. You know what I mean? Do what I do. Kind of sound intelligent, which I don't always do, right? But, when I composed that email, I made sure it came across like that. You know what I mean? That's how you have to come across for them to take you seriously. So Just look, this will work. I know it will work. There's no way this. Look, if Ballstrek does this and he gets the other YouTubers to do it, it's game over. Game over. It's game over because trust me, there's no way they can ignore all those emails.
Yeah, if he can get Gary's group.
And that was my point. That was my plan all along, right? But it's not just that was only one part of my plan. The J-bots still want it. They're still dying to know what the second part is because they've been trying to join all the Facebook groups. But I hope the people in the Facebook groups have been doing what I've asked them to do as well. I'll have to probably get onto them Facebook groups now and give them a kick up the arse and make sure that they're still doing it. So because we want to come at this two ways. See, everybody only knows one way on this, and the only reason why people only know one way on this because I don't want the J-bots to know what the other part of the plan. We always have, you know what did the Joker say? There's an ace in the hole. I've got my ace in the hole, right? And it's a pretty good one because there's no way that this place can actually ignore us either. And
there's comes a point where they can't. They're going to have to address it.
This will be addressed. Trust me. This has to be. It has to be. If we can pull this off. If we can pull this off, it's game over. I know it is. It's game over. I'm pretty confident then after that serious review comes, there is no hiding for Chris Chibnall. And he'll either be given such a bashing dressing down that he'll actually start doing things properly, or he'll be given his P45.
I don't think he's able to do things properly.
He's not good enough. But come here, I've already been told by a reliable source that because I've been keeping in touch with someone and they want to know if the plan is in place, and I said it is, of course it is. I've been doing my part. I said other YouTubers have been doing their part. People have been sending emails in, but it's the big YouTubers obviously that are going to make the difference. So the fact that I was able to get Ballstrek on board is a big plus. Now I've asked them to have a word with other YouTubers, especially those that I don't know either, to get them on board, the ones that deal with Doctor Who as well. So if they come on board, but even if they don't, and we just have Ballstrek, as I said,
that's a lot of people.
It's still a lot of people, right? And even 1/3 of those people write in an email, short email to the BBC. It's still, they cannot ignore it. And that's been the whole point of this all together, right? To get these. Look at BBC have ignored us for 2 years, 3 years since she's been cast, right? They've ignored us, right? Chris Chibnall's had little digs. It's about time now that they listen to us, right? Or at least know that we're shouting now, right? He wants to take little digs. Well, we'll show him what we're capable of. And this is what this is all about. Showing him that we're not actually going to take this sitting down anymore, right? He had that little dig at us where she said that little line about the upgrade. That was a deliberate dig because that's what fans, she's not as good as Peter Capaldi and all this.
That's why Chibnall denies listening to us or reading articles.
Exactly. That's why he did that. So it's even getting into his writing. So this is their response, right? This is their response directly to his bosses. We'll see what he has to say then. We'll see if he's a smug then. This is what it's all about. This is what I'm trying to say. I'm not having a go at anybody that wants to do a petition, but at the end of the day, even if you do get 500 signatures, right?
That's just 500. That's nothing. That's
500. We need more. You know what I mean? We need to be doing it on a bigger scale now. Small scale is not good enough anymore.
And like you said, even though if we got 1 million signatures, it wouldn't do anything.
No. But imagine though, right? If you turn those 1 million signatures into 1 million emails.
Right, exactly.
This is my point.
Because it's affecting them. They're having to hire more people probably.
Exactly.
They're having to, deal with this, and they really don't want to deal with it because they have other things on their plate they want to deal with. So it's a hindrance to them. To they have to address it because at some point they want to get on with business.
Sci-Fi George with a $5 super chat says, "This is for me from the States paying my license fee for good TV such as you, Ballstrek, Critical Drinker, Doomcock, Day Neurotic, and Geronimo. And don't forget Blue Bonnet Hoovy and Sci-Fi George. And if you haven't subscribed to Blue Bonnet Hoovian's channel, and if you like a bit of Big Finish as well, actually, I'll give Daniel's channel a bit of a plug. Go and support Daniel's channel as well. And thank you very much for those kind words.
Those are all good people.
Look, we just, as I said, you'll always get, this will always be, pure and raw from me. So you get what you see is what you get, and what you hear is what I'm like in everyday life as well. So I'm just very passionate. We all are. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. To be put even in the same sentence as those guys, even last year, would have been actually unthinkable. They're legends, all of them. Especially Ballstrek, because I think he's the longest on YouTube.
He is, and he's such a nice person.
I know.
Like, I can't see anyone like thinking, like calling him names. I'm like, to me, like, I don't understand it.
Look, they turn nasty when they're losing an argument. I know Ballstrek by talking to him on a regular basis. You do as well.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I also tweet him as well when we're not live, stuff like that. I sent him a Christmas card actually this year as well. He sends me little conversations. We have little conversations. He's one of the nicest guys in the bloody world. Same with Gary. I've spoke to Gary now just a few times, but when he was on my stream behind the scenes, even though it was chaotic, but when he was talking to me, he's one of the nicest guys in the fandom as well, and he's absolutely, believe it or not, he's absolutely devastated over Doctor Who, because Doctor Who was one of those very first science fiction shows I think he actually watched, that and Trek, so that's close to his heart. Doomcock, well, we know what Doomcock does. I mean, look at all he's a legend. I mean, look.
Yeah.
Do you remember that it was brilliant because Doomcock was already a legend, but Doomcock became a legend to everybody else when he was releasing all those rumors about the Last Jedi, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was releasing some of the plot.
Yeah, and people were calling him a liar, and even high-ranking journalists were coming out and calling him a liar. And then when it all came true, legend. But the best had to be his response video to that idiot. What was his name? I can't even remember.
I can't remember either.
The non-actor.
But I saw the response. Was it Freddie Prinze?
Freddie Prinze.
Yeah, that guy is such a prick.
Listen, mate. He obviously aren't the Star Wars fan. I don't even sit here and say I'm a Star Wars fan, but he ripped you apart. And then
I loved it.
Everything he said. Doomcock was right. I made you look an even bigger fool. So yeah, and Critical Drinker, I've only gotten the start. I've only been listening to, obviously, due to Ballstrek.
I loved his Terminator. Was it Last Fate review? Yeah. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And he kept me from going to see it because I grew up with Terminator and I loved it. And I was like, well, it may not be that bad. And I'm like, oh God, I'm so glad I didn't spend the money.
You know what? You're like me. We have a lot in common. I love that movie as well.
Mm-hmm. The original was like, that was it.
That franchise, right? Look, one, brilliant. Terminator T2, if our sequel, let's be honest.
It was good. Yeah, it was great.
Right, T3 wasn't brilliant, right? But the fact that we had Terminator back on the screen, Rise of the Machines,
right?
It still had the old feel of a Terminator movie, though, right? And then we got Salvation.
Yeah.
And then they kind of lost the plot there, and then I thought,
yeah.
Okay. And then we got
Genesis or something.
Now, that film does get criticized. I'm going to defend it here, right? the criticism that I get, some of the criticism that I get, I think is unjustified. The director, the fella that wrote this and directed this, obviously did do the homework, right? The thing that pissed me off is what he didn't add the 1990s timeline into it. That's what pissed me off, right? That's not what pissed the other people off, but that was the thing that pissed me off. Why would they jump straight into that instead of going to, if you stop fucking Sarah Connor or something back in the 90s, or do something in the 90s, I don't know.
I think they went on too long with it. I mean, this is what I have problems with sequels is like they don't know when to stop.
Yeah, but Emilia Clarke was wrongly cast, in my opinion, as Sarah Connor. I thought the guy who played Reese, he was the wrong actor as well. I had no problem with Arnie or being called Pops, to be honest with you. The plot made sense. It was just poorly executed. And in fairness, they should have brought back Bill Paxman because I think he was still alive at the time. They could have CGI'd a younger version of him in that scene that they had at the very start of the movie. And they could have brought back what's his name? Your man that played Patrick, what's his face? That played
John Connor.
That played the T2. They played the liquid.
Yeah, he was in Fire in the Sky. What is his name?
Something Patrick or Patrick something?
It is Patrick, but yeah.
Well, I know he's a bit. He still looks all right for his age, but again, they could have CGI'd him as the T2. They could have had him in that scene. There was little things like that annoyed me. I didn't mind the fact that they turned John Connor in this movie because I thought it was it was Robert Patrick, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the concept. It was just poorly executed. And the actor and actress, I just couldn't believe. Arnold was fine. It was just the rest of it, just.
Yeah, but this Dark Fate thing.
But then.
Oh God, the fact that they.
Right.
I can't forget the fact they killed off John Connor in the first 15 minutes.
Right, that's what I was going to talk about. Listen, there's one thing throughout the whole Terminator franchise, and as you know, the running theme has always been Sarah Connor either protecting her son or the T2 then ended up protecting them in Terminator 2, right? So there's always been that John Connor was always going to be the leader of the resistance, right? In Dark Fate, if you haven't watched it, right, I'm going to give a spoiler. So if you don't want to hear the spoiler, turn down your monitor now. What I'll do is to let you know that I'm finished, I'll just throw some random comment up on the screen, and that's how you know I'm finished my point, right? So I sat down to watch this movie because, like yourself, I'd heard a lot of criticism, and I'd also heard some positive things. And Linda Hamilton being back for me was a plus. I thought, nice one. She's back. Sarah is back. Yes, the badass is back. And then we and then we get to that, then we start seeing at the beach. And I'm thinking, there's a young John Connor. So they brought poor what's his face back for this. I keep forgetting his name because he's had such a. What's his name? Who's the original guy that played John Connor? Come on, all you brainy people.
I don't know why I get online and I can't remember anything.
Anyway, right? So he's literally only in this movie. His saying
Edward Furlong.
Yeah, Edward Furlong, right? He's literally in it for 3 minutes, right? He gets basically. John Connor ends up being blown away. Now, listen, here's the stupid thing about that whole scene. Sarah Connor is sitting there, right? And she's looking. Now, remember, in the second movie, obviously, we got to see how paranoid she was and how protective she was of John, right? So she was very protective of him. Remember when the bullets were hailing in, she made sure he had the bulletproof vests over him, and then she checked him for bullets and everything, right? So she's very protective. So she's sitting at this bar, right? And he's up at the bar chatting this young one up, right? As you do as a young kid. You see a girl you fancy her, you're chatting her up, right? And she's there looking around with her sunglasses on, and she's oblivious to the fact that this big, huge fella going towards her son, right? Then he pulls out his shotgun, and there's still no reaction from her. And then next of all, bang, blows him away. He's lying on the deck, right? He's dying, right? Then she runs over, John, right? And then even in this movie, he make it out being a mother is an evil fucking thing. You have a thing about mothers in that there's a whole undertone about women are not, they're used as vessels. There's this whole thing, vessels thing going through the team. Sarah Connor, I don't even, why did Linda Hamilton agree? I mean, they totally just changed the character. I mean, that's not Sarah.
They did the whole reason why she was protecting him in the first place.
Yeah.
They undid it all just so they could shoehorn in a female John Connor. That was my issue with it.
Oh, Nicholas Horton. I've never seen the alternative ending of Judgment Day. And you know what? You're going to laugh at me. I didn't even know there was I know there's one for I Am Legend, which is deadly. I didn't know there was one for that. So Terminator, Nicholas Horton, sorry, I should say, with a £5 super chat says Terminator 2 Judgment Day with an alternative ending also wrapped the trilogy up with only both movies. Wow. I will actually have to take
I've never seen that either.
At that. Where can we find that, Nicholas? And don't send me a super chat. Just put me a normal chat there and tell me where we can find that. Yeah, I want to watch that. See.
I've heard that, but
yeah, I've actually seen the deleted scenes in the Alien movie. Have you ever seen the deleted and extended scenes in the Alien movie? Oh, you get to see a different phase of the cocoon, not the way that the alien takes away the bodies and all. You get to see a different phase of it, but they left it out of the original movies for some weird reason. But I think that would have kind of explained a lot. Really, it's on Terminator 2 deleted scenes. That's see, back in my day, right? You've got to understand, Terminator 2 came out what?
1991.
We were still poor, so we couldn't afford DVDs. We used to rent videotapes and DVDs. And we never looked at the deleted scenes. We just watched the movie. You'd get 3 days to watch it or something, and then you'd send it back. And
it depended on if the VHS even had like special.
Yeah, and so
it was just a regular old, yeah.
Yeah, and VHS didn't have deleted scenes, so no, I've never actually seen. And I've actually come to think of it now that you're talking, I don't think I've seen many deleted scenes either. So this is all new to me. So thanks for that, Chris. I'll have that. And thanks, Nicholas, as well. Jesus, that's... Do you know what I should do? Do you know what, Blue Bar? Because you like that movie as well. Do you know what? We should do reviews of that franchise.
Yeah. I've thought about doing, old 80s and 90s shows I used to watch.
I like the old 80s and 90s myself as well. We could do Chips.
I remember that show.
Chips, Jesus Christ, we used to watch that at my house.
I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah,
I was like, but that was such
into me head. Go ahead.
I can't imagine them coming out of that today. It would seem so weird.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Yeah, I always thought, I know they were nice, but I always thought there was something slimy about those two.
Oh, Poncho. Poncho, yeah. Was it Poncho was his name or something? Yeah, I don't remember their names. I remember Eric Estrada and the other guy. Ponce or whatever.
Oh,
what did I say, Poncho?
The Good, the Bad, the Dave. That is actually not a bad show. That is actually not a bad show, actually. And I'm going to put that about? Because that is actually not a bad show. Does anybody agree with him there? Yul Brynner in 1973's Westworld made a good Terminator.
I've seen part of that show. I need to finish watching it.
Yeah, I watched Westworld. I have to say, yeah.
I mean, it seemed good. I tried to watch the new show and I couldn't get into it.
Are you saying made or make? I think you meant make a good Terminator. Yeah, I think he would make. Well, he's obviously too old now, but back then, yeah. But Arnold is,
He's up there. He's what in his 70s now, close to it. Yeah, he's up there.
Yule was the first Terminator. Yule was the first Terminator.
Yul Brynner, right?
Yeah. How was he the first? Now, am I missing something completely?
Well, the thing is in Westworld, he's basically a robot.
I know he's a sort of robotic kind of thing, but
he's not quite. He's not from the future.
I mean, yeah, but even Arnold Terminator, like he's got an exoskeleton made of some mad metal.
Right, it's very futuristic.
Yeah.
Westworld.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I know. I've just been. But yeah, don't get me started on the Terminator music.
Yeah, I actually went and saw the.
Aged well, though. Unfortunately,
what's that?
The fourth one hasn't aged well. I watched.
Yeah, but I still enjoy it. I like the grittiness of it. That's why I like the first one better.
That's what I mean. It's a great story, so it doesn't matter that it hasn't. Do you know what I mean? If it's still, that's what I'm saying. Look, they always say that, don't they? The visuals might age, but the story never does and will never get old. And I don't think that Terminator. See, if you're going to make a Terminator movie, right? And I suggest to Hollywood or anybody that attempts to make a Terminator movie, if you want to make a true Terminator movie, you go back to the very first one, because even the second one, even the most die-hard Terminator fans will say that the second Terminator is not pure Terminator.
Well, it's a little flashier, I think. Yeah. And I think that's why. But I it's like Alien. The first Alien to me is better than Aliens.
Because the first Terminator was kind of, it was dark. It was, it was
dystopian almost a little bit. Yeah.
Well, obviously he had to protect the kid. I know it was a bit flashy. I do like T2. I'm not slagging it. I love them all. Actually, I think I do like Terminator, but T2 just edges it for me. Just for the simple fact is I just love the end. The end scene made me cry as a kid though.
Yeah.
When he's gone, when he's on the chains and Sarah lowers him into the lava pit, and then he puts his thumb up at the end, and John Connor is there roaring and crying, and I'm there roaring and crying with him. like I don't want him to go, me buddy is gone. And then when the third one, obviously the third one didn't come out for ages. I think years later, and I remember it came out in the cinema. I went to actually watch that twice in one day. Right, and I even knew watching it then it wasn't the greatest movie, but the fact that scene in the graveyard, I don't care what you say though, that scene in the graveyard where they're just all shooting at him and he turns around with the coffin, that is just that. that was Terminator back on the screen for me, and I know I would have loved them to get Edward Furlong back. But the guy that they got to replace him wasn't too bad, but he was a bit of a pussy. He was supposed to be the future leader of the resistance. And I didn't mind the end. I thought if they had ended the movies there, I would have been happy. The third one wasn't great, but it was still a nice end. It was still a good.
But it still felt like Terminator.
It was still a nice little trilogy. Now they fucked it up.
Like I said, I think they go on too long with these shows.
Well, fair play to your Terminator fans, because you turned yourself back on Dark Fate now that James Cameron has scrapped these whole ideas now. Well done. I'm delighted because he was coming out with some other bollocks, man. We probably would have got robot.
I will say the other day we watched Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah.
And that was entertaining. But it was Robert Rodriguez that I think helped write that too as well. And that is very entertaining, and I was very, very, very shocked that it was.
This is overrated.
He is. I'm not a huge fan, believe it or not.
He's a great director, but as a writer, he's actually shit. I mean, Titanic, nobody could take it away from him. Titanic was great directed. Now I do like that movie, and people can slag me off, right? I know it's a bunch of fucking romance nonsense, right? The fact that it's on the Titanic and it looked like the ship, and for me, even when the actors were walking through different parts of the stage, different parts of the Titanic, that's what I was interested in. I was interested then to see when the Titanic hit the iceberg and when it actually split. Because remember, up until then, we had never seen the Titanic on screen in any of the movies split. It was always a theory, but it was only when in after 1985 when they did that expedition, they actually found out that the witness that said that the Titanic broke up did actually break up, right? So it broke up. I wanted to see the breakup and how they did it on screen, and I have to say he did it amazing. That movie. That made when I see that. Oh, you know what? I didn't give a fuck about. Oh, Jack, don't leave me. See that? I didn't give a shit. I was crying.
Well, everyone. I think the movie was too long.
Yeah.
I think the movie. I think they could have cut off about an hour and 15 minutes of it. Yeah. It would have been fine. Everyone wanted to see it sink. That was the whole reason why everyone went and saw it. I didn't care about the romance. I'm a woman.
Yeah. That's the only thing I was sad about. When the Titanic was actually sinking, I was crying. Seriously, because the first thing that popped into my head was those poor people.
Right, exactly.
Because we got to think 1,100 and something souls went down with that ship. Only 700 survived. Right? They didn't even have enough lifeboats. Right? So it was a death trap. There was always people going to die on that ship. And to be honest with you, for it to be hit by an iceberg and for it to go down the way it did, it's still a mystery to some people. Look, I know it was severed 100 feet across, right? And there was six water compartments, wasn't there? And 4 of them were flooded, right? You could survive on 3 or something, but 4, then the ship is good. It just didn't make sense. Now, newly released photos, right? Everybody knows, right, that when Titanic left Southampton, right, what many people mightn't know about that story is that when it left Southampton, there was a raging fire going on in the boiler rooms that had been raging for 7 days, right? But White Star Line were able to keep a hush-hush, right? So newly released photographs actually show the side of the ship where the iceberg actually hit it, and you can actually see the metal, right? Before the ship left Southampton, a couple of days, the metal was distorted on the side of the ship. You could actually see that the fire had weakened the metal. So
they were even covering up things back then, weren't they?
Yeah. So when they went to sail and they hit the iceberg, it would have fucking just melted like butter and it would have ripped it open. Because they still...
That makes sense.
It's do you know what though? The theory that it was swapped with the Olympic was a good theory, but it is the Titanic down the bottom of the ocean. And those bastards knew there was a fire on it and they still sailed that ship. Could you imagine if they did that today? Not only with the captain, but the company would be closed down. All their employees, all the bosses would be put into prison.
I don't know. There's a lot of things going today that they hush up, and some people still aren't in prison for what they knew and what they didn't know about certain things. So it's hard to say.
I said to Cheryl though, I said, there's an Australian or New Zealand shipbuilder now. He's been saying this since 2015, but apparently they're already building it. So there's a Titanic 2 supposed to be setting sail in 2022. Now, this guy has been saying this since 2015, but they have finally started work on Titanic 2. Now, guess where this ship is being built, though? China.
Oh, well, great. Working for a company where we do deal in China parts, I can say that'll be perfect, right? Yeah.
For anybody that doesn't know anything about Chinese metal, it's never the greatest quality.
I know, and I'm not going to reveal where I work, but I'm saying we deal with things that are kind of important
Yeah.
parts, and a lot of the customers do not want China material. There's a
Listen,
reason for that.
do you remember back in the 80s where people used to laugh, where they used to see things made in China and people would laugh and actually take that serious? Well, that still goes today. When I see things made in China, I laugh because they never last, right? Now, this guy is getting this ship built in China. I can understand it's cheaper. Now, here's the thing. He's decided that he was going to go the original route originally, but I think he has decided that he's going to set sail in Dubai and then make his way around. Now he's going to set sail apparently on the date that the ship originally um, set sail for. Now, before I knew it was built in China, I thought it was going to be built in Northern Ireland, where the original Titanic was built. You know, why not?
Right.
Even if that shipyard's not there, a different shipyard that they own, Harland and Wolff, and actually get them to build a ship because they would be the experts on it. And also, you would know that the iron and the steel that they use would be actually top grade. Okay, back in the day, it probably wasn't. Well, they experts say now, even for back in the day, Titanic actually had got good quality. That's always been Harland and Wolff's main investigation to see was it their fault, and they actually got a play up. And when they tested it, the metal came back with I think it was 97% pure, so there was only 3% in impurities, which for at the time was actually higher above standard. So this is why people were interested about Titanic sinking. But this guy is getting it built in China, right? And he's going to say, now I said to the wife before I knew this, I said, if that does come over here, it probably cost about 10 grand a ticket. But Jesus, if I was, I'd be the first one on it because I just have to. No, but seriously, there's just, I don't know what it is. Since a young kid, ever since I found out about Titanic or anything got to do with Egypt, I've been always drawn towards those subjects. So every Titanic movie there's ever been made, I've watched. Every movie that you can think of that's been made Egyptian or on Egypt, I've probably watched. I have books there, loads on Egyptology, wherever that word is. I can never say it properly. I have
Egyptology,
books on Titanic. As a kid, I actually built a model scale of the Titanic with me dad. It took us 6 months, and then my baby brother decided it'd be a good idea.
It was like the Titanic.
And actually snap off one of the cylinders, the smokestacks.
Well, see, if he'd have been creative, he would have like built a little iceberg and then did that least, right?
He would have pulled off the middle one.
Right.
And then he would have broke it in half.
Right.
Yeah, I did see Raise the Titanic in 1980, and I know it's a stupid concept, but even that scene watching the Titanic ship come up through the water, now remember, this was before they knew the Titanic had split in two. So to them, they thought that ship was actually whole. So the story itself was actually quite an interesting story. They thought what was it, uranium or plutonium or something was on the ship. And that's why they raised it. And seeing it coming up through, if you haven't seen that scene and Raise the Titanic, even just go and see that, just watch that scene. Because for me, as a Titanic lover, even though I know it's not true and I'll never be raised, even watching it on TV looked amazing to me. Seriously.
I mean, at least they found something. I remember in the 80s, Geraldo did the whole like we're gonna go into Al Capone's vault, and when they opened it, there was nothing in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, at least there was something. Maybe it was broken half, but you got something. We got nothing. It was like there was really nothing in Al Capone's vault.
That's what it was. It was Byzantium. And then it ended up being buried in someone's grave. That's what it was. But yeah, the raising of that ship, that's just that whole scene where the explosives go off underwater and it's not moving. And then the last couple explosives go off, and then you hear this creaking noise. And then the ship slowly starts moving up through the water. And you're like, yes, this is actually going to happen. And this was obviously a time, as I said, when they didn't know that poor Titanic had actually split in three, not two. It actually split in three. See, it didn't split directly in the middle. split either side of the middle, because the middle was the weakest part, but split either side of the middle. The middle part went straight down, and the other two parts then floated away from each other. And actually, the front part actually hit the water, hit the ground at something like a force of a bloody what was it? What did they say the force was? Some force. That's why it crushed it. It's embedded. Would people like to see the Titanic raised actually in all its pieces? If they could take that up, would you like to? Here's my point.
Sure.
No.
Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Firstly, it's too weak anyway, because it's being overtaken by, and it has a lot of life. Sure, they reckon in 20 years it's going to fold into itself anyway. But second of all, it's a graveyard.
Yeah, I guess I don't think of that, you know.
You know, like as we said, you know, a lot of lives were lost that night. They went down with that ship. Their bodies are still in that ship.
Right, but I mean, wouldn't it be nice to give them a proper burial in a way? You know,
True.
Even though maybe most of the people that knew them probably aren't alive, but they may have relatives.
Yeah, they have relatives
you know.
that still visit. They have a yearly pilgrimage, and they don't want.
Yeah.
No, they're in this committee where they want it preserved. But the thing about it is now, it's down too deep for them to put something encasing over it to protect it. You see.
Yeah, I see your point.
So, unfortunately, in 20 to 30 years' time, poor Titanic will probably disappear into the sand of the ocean.
Well, it's kind of a shame because, I mean, it would be interesting to see some of it. I mean, you know, even though it's probably wouldn't hold up pulling it out, but
Yeah, Rose should have let go of the raft. Go.
Yeah, I hated that part. I really did. I hated that part.
You know what?
That was unnecessary.
I'll never let go. And then she lets the bastard go.
Right.
No, it's like, yeah, you're an idiot. She was good in that movie, though. She was.
She was. Yeah.
I mean, and so was he. Look, Leonardo DiCaprio, for me, you know, he has become, and even as a kid, he was a great actor anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he is becoming one of our greatest. And
one of my favorite movies that he's ever done was Shutter Island. That was a very good movie. That was so good.
That movie is just epic. I mean, even I was it was halfway through that movie, I clocked what was happening. But it took me a while to clock what was happening in that movie. And that's a good movie to me, because if it takes me that long, if I clock something straight away, then I kind of lose interest. But nah, the acting and all.
Yeah, it kind of had me guessing till the end, and I thought that was really cool. And that's unusual for me, because usually, like, I'm getting so good. Like, some of these new movies, I can pretty much guess the ending in 5 minutes, and so I get bored very easily. So that kind of captured my attention. Underrated movie as well.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, like, they you don't hear a lot of people talk, not at least over here. Like, I remember actually renting that movie when it came out, because the premise sounded very interesting to me.
One of my favorites of his is when he was actually I have two favorites actually of his when he was a bit younger. We had What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Yeah, I watched that movie. That's a good movie.
Brilliant movie. If you haven't seen it, how Leonardo DiCaprio hasn't won an Oscar before he won his Oscar actually baffles me, to be honest with you. Because even if you look at some of his performances as a kid, he should have won one. He definitely should have won one for this movie. And if anybody has seen it, let me know. But this was Leonardo DiCaprio again. He was in a movie called, I think it's either called The Basketball Diaries or Basketball Diaries.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that movie. I remember my mom talking about that movie. She really liked it.
He becomes a junkie in it, right? Mm-hmm. And he's a school kid in college or something, or in some school. You have to watch the movie. It is absolute. Now, I'm stunned. I'm honest. His performance is just absolutely electric. He seriously, this guy for me should have won an Oscar a long, long time ago, and I don't know what it is, but Hollywood does seem to have it in for Leo. It's been one of those conspiracy theories that does go around on the internet, but that does seem to be a bit of a conspiracy because you look at the movies there. Nerdaholics is actually mentioned lots. The Aviator. Where else was he in? The Departed.
Inception.
Inception. What else? The Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, he's had hit after hit after hit. The Revenant is not the one with the Revenant.
Oh yeah,
right, that one. Right, he's had hit after hit after hit after hit. Where's all his Oscars? Right, wrong. Love the man. Comes
I
out
do
of
too.
retirement, does a movie and wins an Oscar straight away. Right, unfair in my opinion now because
And they were in a movie together too, weren't they? In a movie together?
Yeah, they were in the Gangs of New York. I think.
Yeah.
Gangs of New York. That was another great movie. So I mean, you know what I mean. Leo for me should have more Oscars. That's my personal opinion. I don't know if there's maybe people out there that don't like Leonardo DiCaprio. But as an actor, I don't. In his personal life, we know what he does. He's not a climate change activist.
Right. But
Right.
I separate that. It's easy for me to do that.
You know, he doesn't have that in his bleeding movies. He just does his fucking movies, and that's the right way to do it. If he wants to fly around the world and preach, fair enough. He doesn't do it in his movies. His movies are fucking sensational, man. And the one where he played J. Edgar Hoover as well.
Oh yeah,
played brilliant. He was brilliant in that as well. This guy is just—he's unbelievable. Catch Me If You Can with Tom Hanks. There's another one. Leonardo DiCaprio should have about 15 billion Oscars in his hand. Seriously,
yeah.
the guy is a legend. He's a living legend. We're looking at a living legend. Look at we all grew up with De Niro, Al Pacino, you know, the like Steven Seagal, fucking who else?
Robert Duvall,
Joe Pesci, bleeding what's his face? Fucking like there's always Ray Liotta, bleeding fucking Nicolas Cage, fucking John Travolta. But I'm telling you now, Leo's the one to look out for. Even Brad Pitt, Jordan's Oscar speech, even said the same thing. He says, I would ride on your coattails anytime, man, because they know if they're in a movie with Leo, it's either up for an Oscar or someone's up for an Oscar. Leo's going to be the actor for everybody to look out for. I'm telling you, the next 10 years, if he concentrates on his movie career, are probably going to be 10 of the best years of cinema.
What was the last movie he was in? I have IMDb. I don't know why I'm.
The last movie Leonardo DiCaprio was in. What, are you checking? I'll let you.
Yeah.
You're faster than me. I can't do all that typing. Johnny Depp used to be great, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's lost it a little bit.
Okay, right. Here's my opinion.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I haven't watched that yet.
Yeah, that's the one where Brad Pitt won the Oscar for and said that he'd ride on his coattails.
Yeah.
Anytime.
And he's playing in.
I'm not going to sit here and say I've watched it yet, but I've heard epic things. Well, it's the Brad Pitt has won an Oscar, so it must be the acting must be good in it at least. Anyway, you don't win an Oscar for nothing.
He's doing a movie called The Devil in the White City where he plays H.H. Holmes, which is the serial killer. I'm assuming. So that should be interesting. And I think it's written by, I want to say it's Scorsese, which should be good.
Oh, Scorsese. Well then, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Again, Scorsese is a bit of a piranha in Hollywood. He's only won how many Oscars? I think he's only won the one for directing, which he should have won a lot more. Jesus Christ, that man his house should be full of Oscars as well.
He's got some. He's got some.
Yeah, Tarantino did Twice Upon a Time. Yeah, in Hollywood. Right, my opinion on Johnny Depp is this. I don't think he's lost it. I think what happened was with most actors is that they get involved in the franchise.
Yeah.
And that's what he did with the Pirates. Now, it worked. But what happened was then is you start getting a bit typecast. And he kept doing the same role over and over again. And, you know, he did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, another quirky role. And then his movies all then felt like they were kind of the same. He's just in a rut. Now, we all know and we've all heard the Amber Heard audio, right? Now,
Right.
her side is trying to defend that and saying, he's only releasing these because of the case. It doesn't matter. You've actually admitted that you hit him, which means he was telling the truth all along, which means you are a liar. Why have you still got his career and he doesn't? I would love some director out there or some writer to have a script that Johnny Depp has been never given before, right? A role that he would never imagine play and get him to play it. Because I'll tell you why, when you get an actor like Johnny Depp or a Jim Carrey and you take them out of their comfort zone and you give them something that they've never done before, 9 times out of 10, they will create their best work. He needs to do something completely different to anything he has done before. And he deserves his chance back, by the way. And for anybody out there that still thinks that he shouldn't have his job back, well, I'm sorry, the woman that actually admitted to hitting him. So why is she still working on Aquaman?
Why is she not in jail
Right?
for basically, you know, filing a false report?
Exactly. And by the way, his finger was severed. Yes?
Yeah, I know. I saw
Get
that.
his finger reattached. Okay? He was lying on a bed, blooded. This is Johnny Depp, right? This is probably one of the most coolest men in Hollywood, right? And even if his side did release it, for Johnny Depp to do what he did there, number one, was brave and should be applauded because he's been getting so much stick. He has lost his career because of this woman, right? And if he has been pushed and he believes that this is the only way to get his side of the story out, I'm all for it. I don't mind if you want to Me Too someone that has genuinely done something. But to Me Too a guy or to cancel a guy on false accusations, right, is wrong. Johnny Depp must be given a second chance because he did nothing wrong. He's lost his whole livelihood. He lives for acting. He loves acting. Even look at when his ex-wife came out and defended him, everybody should have known there and then. That's his ex-wife. She'd have nothing to gain because she's already got her money. Remember that. She's already been paid off.
Right.
She's nothing to gain. Right? His own daughter came out and defended. Well, obviously she would, but his ex-wife, who has nothing to gain, came out and defended him. Right? Everybody should have seen through her straight away. Right? And she was in Aquaman 1, and now she's still in Aquaman 2. There has been suggestions that she'll be fired, but she won't be fired, unfortunately, near the Holics, because there'll be a backlash if she is fired, because then you'll have the Me Too movement or the radicalized version of that movement come out and say, how dare you for firing her without any cause and all this, and wait until the case is over and all this crap. That's what you'll get. But yeah, in the meantime, Johnny Depp loses his livelihood. It's bang out of order.
It's not about facts anymore. It's about emotions.
Even if he did defend himself, even if this is the thing that annoys me as well, they talk about equality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if she hit him and was as violent to him as we have actually heard us or tried to deny, but she actually has admitted to hitting him, and he talks about the bottle and she goes, yeah, I did, right, whatever, right? If he actually had punched her in the face or defended himself, right, you still be defending her. This is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it is. It's not about facts. It's about emotions.
Exactly.
They don't care about if you have facts or not. It's all about, you know, let's bash men. Men are all evil. You know, it's her word. No matter if he's got facts on his side or not.
Yeah, well, hopefully, and then he was criticised because Dior was criticised because they got him to do that advertisement, but he had already obviously made it clear to them that he was innocent. They backed him up. Then when they couldn't get Dior on that, then they actually went after him because it featured Native American Indians, right, and said it was disrespectful. And then Dior comes out and says, "Oh no, what we forgot to tell you was we actually collaborated with the Native American community, and we actually had someone
Are you
on."
talking about the Lone Ranger?
And then your woman comes on. Yeah, that's the one where he's in the desert. Do you remember?
Uh-huh.
His comeback. That was his comeback. That was his little mini comeback. As they made a big deal over that trailer because that was his comeback. That was the first time apparently he was on screen since all that.
From what I understand, he has a lot of native blood in him. So,
But he was
hello.
criticized. And then when they couldn't get when they finally then they got your one that was there to make a statement, then they still weren't happy. They tried to find something else. You shouldn't be letting a woman beat her be in your ad and all this. He probably played them that audio, and I wouldn't blame him. Why should that be ruin his career and stop him from getting paid for doing what he loves doing?
Well, it looks like he's in pre-production of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them Part 3. So
there you go. Good man.
That's not stopping him too bad. I actually like to see him in another Fear and Loathing as Hunter S. Thompson, to be honest, before he hangs it up, because I enjoyed him in that role. I thought that movie was great. For me, that's the Johnny Depp I want to see.
He's not going to be one of these actors. You're right, and that's a good observation there. He's not going to be one of these actors that's going to hang around. He's going to get to a certain age and he's going to hang it all up and do something else. He'll probably become an artist or travel the world or something.
Yeah, so I want to see him doing a new character role again instead of a franchise, because I mean, I enjoy that side of Johnny Depp.
Yeah. I mean, that's so great. I like From Hell.
That's a good movie. Yeah.
What was the one where he murders his wife and he buries her in the garden?
Secret Window, and then I liked that one. The Ninth Gate was a good movie too.
That's a good movie. That's the one with the books, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It has Frank Langella in it.
Yeah, that's brilliant. There it is. Yeah, I know the movie you're talking about. That's about all the books, but they have different symbol or numbers on them or something. Yeah, there's different. There's only supposed to be one copy of this book, but it turns out there's several copies, and he's been seen to get them. Yeah, he's brilliant. Yeah, in roles like that, he shines, right?
Yeah.
And when he got at the first Pirates movie, he was brilliant. The role suited him down to the ground, right? But I think even when he did the first one, he said he wouldn't do franchises, and then obviously, and you don't blame him for that. I mean, this is the biggest payday he's ever going to have. So he's told, we want you to do 3 movies. Here's 300 million. Right? He's not going to
I think what he said was he wanted to do it for his kids. He wanted to do something his kids could watch at the time.
Yeah, and
I think he got caught up in that.
Second one was, nah. And the third one was, nah. But the first one, I still love the first one. First one is always my favourite. But you're right. He needs to stop. No more franchises. And I know there's fans out there already calling him to be reinstated as Captain Jack. And I see beautiful videos of him going into hospitals as Captain Jack. Continue to do that, Johnny Depp, yes. But hang up the movie role. Do something different, because you're better than that. He is.
Yeah, I was disappointed with Dark Shadows too when he did that.
The Caribbean. He's a better actor than Pirates of the Caribbean, right? He should be in films like the way De Niro and Pacino were in. They're the type of movies Depp should be in. And I know some people say he's overrated. He's not actually overrated.
I wouldn't call him overrated if you've seen Black Mass, where he plays Whitey Bulger. That's a great movie. When he plays Whitey Bulger, the gangster in that show, yeah, he really transforms. So, I mean, he still can do it. I want him to get away from the franchises and, do more roles like that, or, transform. You don't realize you're watching Johnny Depp anymore,
Yeah, and there's another actor that's trying to make a comeback. This name is going to be notorious. He's done some creepy videos lately. As Frank Underwood.
Oh, you're talking about Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. So one of the cases or something that he was facing or something is dropped, right? The case is dropped. So that charge that was hanging over him is gone. Now I don't know about the actor from that other TV show, which I won't name just because I don't want to get myself into trouble. Accused them of doing something to him at a party, if you remember. I don't know if that
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's still an ongoing case or that is still going. But the other case where the people that apparently that case is dropped. So if I'm correct, there's only one kind of hanging over him, but he's trying to make a comeback because he's been doing these creepy videos in character. Frank Underwood. Now watch the first one. I thought, okay, right, what? Okay, that is a big feck you to them all, right? I was saying, but what's your point? Like, the case hasn't happened yet. We're waiting till the evidence because at this stage all we have right now, and we've got to stress this. I haven't seen any evidence, right? So if anybody has any evidence out there, I'd like to see it, but I haven't seen any evidence of
I think Kevin Spacey is a great actor.
Yeah.
I'm kind of torn because
I will stress if he has done these things that he has been accused of, they should lock him away and throw away the key. But right now, as far as I can tell, is this only word of mouth so far? I haven't seen any evidence, or unless his lawyer team have been so successful at keeping out of media attention, because I know absolutely nothing. All I know is that the fella from that TV program said that he was at a party that, in my opinion, he shouldn't have been at anyway, an adult party. He was 12 years of age or something, and Kevin Spacey did something to him.
Well, there's ongoing rumors about Bryan Singer from the X-Men franchise, basically hosting parties with young boys at them. Now, I don't know if this is in reference, but there's certain pictures from what I understand with Kevin Spacey in these photos. Have I ever seen them? No. If that is true, I hope he rots in prison. Because you're messing with minors. It's not like you're messing with adults.
That's the thing, if it's true, but at the same time, I haven't seen
any
evidence yet. So for me, I will wait until the evidence is out. But no, there's no way he should be making any sort of comeback until everything is cleared up.
But then again, there's no evidence.
The reason why I brought this up, I just think it's in bad taste on his part. And I think,
it is.
He should be holding back. Even if he's that convinced he's innocent, it will play out in court and he'll be proven innocent, right? But he shouldn't be doing these videos and especially in the character that he was basically kicked out of the show because these allegations came forward, which I actually do love. I have to be honest. I absolutely adore House of Cards, but since
I know when he left, I quit watching.
I haven't watched the end of it, so I don't even know how it ends. Don't spoil it for me, because
no, I haven't. I quit watching it once he was kicked out.
Maybe he is found innocent. If he is innocent of this, I hope he is. But if he's not, he rots in hell like everybody else that does act like that should, right? But if he's innocent, then I'll go back and I'll watch it, because why not? It's like all those people, right? And I want to bring this up as well because, as you know, there's a documentary, I don't know if many of you have seen it, Finding Neverland.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Now, we all know for years that Michael Jackson's had these allegations hanging over his head. Now, here's been my stance on it from the beginning, right? And my stance hasn't changed over the years, right? So this is a belief that I've had, and this is what I think where it went wrong. In the first case, he wanted to fight it. We all know that. But his record company thought it'd be better than having a dragged out court case like that and pay off the first family. So Michael Jackson, being naive, as we all know and seen him to be, right, agreed with the experts, right, which was the wrong thing to do. He should have actually went with his gut instinct and fought it. Now, why am I bringing that up? Well, you see, when you don't fight something and you pay someone off, then people automatically think guilty, right?
Right.
But when you have your chancers that will think, well, if I put my kid in there, I can accuse him and people will believe me because he paid off the first kid. And that's exactly what happened with the second kid. And that's why he fought it and he went to court and he was absolved of all crimes. Now, these two parasites then, right, who actually had a friendship with Michael Jackson, then decided then, after they were turned down for doing Cirque du Soleil, by the way, which was a tribute to Michael Jackson. They were doing a Jackson one, right?
Wow, I did not know that.
Right? And he was ringing them up and asking them to be on it, and they said no, right? They said no, and then all of a sudden, then he comes out with this other fella and says that Michael Jackson starts. Now, the British media, Piers Morgan as well, have been tearing the director up of this movie. Well, their accounts seem to be false. Actually, if you watch the documentary and then you actually listen to what they actually say, there's some fella on YouTube that actually did the deadly. He gives you snippets of the documentary of what they said in Finding Neverland and then what they said back in the day. They totally contradict themselves, right? They're only money-grabbing parasites. The man is dead, can't defend himself, right? He's still dead and he's still getting this. Do I believe he was a paedophile? I'll put it to you this way. Jimmy Savile was dead for 3 months, right? 1,245 cases came forward, right? That's gone in. By the way, that has gone up since to over 10,000 since then. Michael Jackson has been dead how many years now? And how many other kids have came forward? How many other families have came forward and said that their kids were molested by Michael Jackson? Let me make one thing clear here, right? Anybody that watches programs and listens to the experts, they will tell you that pedophiles don't just, especially when it comes to kids, they don't stick with the one kid.
No.
The kid, they get to a certain age and they're not bothered with them anymore, right? So if Michael Jackson was a pedophile, where's all the rest of the kids? There should be hundreds of them. There should be hundreds because this is supposed to be going on since the 80s. There should be hundreds, but there isn't. And all those radio stations that banned his music, shame on you. Shame on you. The man did nothing wrong. Do you know what? His only crime was he was too nice. And
he was too trusting.
And too fucking naive. He's
right. And my question is, okay, why would the parents allow that anyway?
Exactly.
And why aren't they being like on trial for that?
Because here's the thing, even after the first case, would you, even though you know he's innocent though, right? Well, if you had a kid, right, and Michael Jackson said, I'm having a load of kids over for a sleepover, would you be handing your kid over to him?
No, absolutely not. I don't care.
Innocent, but you know the perception, you know yourself, you wouldn't want one of your kids to be labeled, oh, he's probably one of Michael Jackson's victims. Like,
not only that, I think why would look here's his mistake. I think he thought like a little kid, but he's seen as a grown adult, even though mentally he's like a little kid.
No.
The mistake he made was going on interviews and saying they were sleeping in the same bed.
I will say that. Look, but anybody that knows Michael Jackson through his career and seen interviews of him and people that personally knew him will tell you that he was harmless. He wouldn't hurt the fucking fly. It wasn't. And even Macaulay Culkin explained how the sleeping arrangements actually were. Either Jackson would be on the floor, they'd be in the bed or whatever it was. But that poor kid, look at him. Look at what he's had to go through, right? There's still this thing over his head. Oh, he's possibly Macaulay Culkin, alleged victim of Michael Jackson. He's always come out and denied it. No wonder that kid turned to drugs and all. And
even Corey Feldman, who actually did say he was sexually abused, him and Corey Haim back in the 80s by a known director. From what I understand,
he never mentioned Michael Jackson, by the way.
Right, he did say if it's true, then you know he did side with the victims recently, only because he didn't want to sound like I'm a victim myself. You know, he didn't want to, but he didn't actually say he thought Michael Jackson was guilty. He said he just didn't know.
Yeah,
because Michael Jackson never did anything to him.
Look, even I don't know, and nobody really knows. But gut instinct, and logically speaking, there'd be more and more kids coming forward now. And you mean to tell me that the Michael Jackson estate for years has been paying off all of these families and keeping it a secret. I'm sorry, someone would expose that because there's always someone out there looking for a story. And trust me, if you think they can keep everything a secret, they can't. Someone would leak that. There's no way. There's no way. I don't believe it for 1 second. He was naive. He was stupid enough to listen to people. And yes, he shouldn't have been going on TV saying the things he was saying. But there's one thing that was evident. He just wanted to make the world a better place. And you listen to his songs, that's exactly his later songs anyway, when it was always about the earth or kids. It was always about making the world a better place for us all. And what is wrong with that? And that's the message that he tried to leave. And that's the legacy that Michael Jackson would have. His music, his early music thrilled us all. His later music inspired us all to make ourselves better human beings. And that's what we should be remembering Michael Jackson for. But no.
Well, he did say in an interview, and I'll try to find it and send it to you. He did basically admit that he doesn't play the game, and he felt like that they were after him.
Yeah.
To frame him. So yeah, not playing the game, the Hollywood game. And so
he did an interview. He did. Did you see the interview where he's in a kind of? Is that the interview you're talking about where he's in a kind of a tent?
Yeah.
He's saying they're after me and all. And he even talked about the Sony producer when the Sony producer tried to steal all his music and all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you hear? Have you ever seen that? There's a version of what's it called? I want to make sure I get the song right. I think it's Black and White. You know that song, Black and White?
Yeah.
There's a version of that song that has a whole dance sequence to it that's banned, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if you'll still be able to get it on Twitter. If you do, more than likely you'll probably have to actually sign in. It'll probably more than likely to be over 18. But in this, it is a black and white. I want to make sure it is black and white. Hold on. I want to find it. Right? But there's a dance he does in it. But this dance is actually not directed at us, right? This dance is letting us know what Hollywood is all about.
Uh-huh.
Right? And he's exposing Hollywood in this dance, right? But there's certain things written on the wall, written on the cards. You'll see he smashes them up. It's the whole point of the dance. He's basically saying, you don't have control over me anymore, right? Shortly after that video, the first allegation came out about him.
Yeah.
Right? It was all set up. If people need to understand, right, they take certain people down when they start getting their message across. And Michael Jackson was most certainly getting his message across. And remember, he was one of the best African-American singers of all time. Remember, still in America, African-American, still, even in the 80s, they were even 90s with Tupac. See the way he was even treated by the police.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There was still this kind of, they're a threat, So Michael Jackson still would have been seen as a threat because he was the biggest one. So if the biggest one steps out of line and then suddenly doesn't start complying with what you want, then they take them down. That's
Dave Chappelle talked about that on I think
look
Oprah.
What happened to him. Look what happened to Jay. He went mad for a while. He has did you see the video where he's crying? He's talking about his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He talked about how Hollywood, they want to demasculate black men by putting them in dresses and that kind of thing, and he doesn't play the game. He refuses to play the game because they want to take away masculinity of black men, and that's just a fact in Hollywood. They're constantly trying to do that.
Well, here, what's that bleeding rapper's name? Shorty, he's doing it. He has no problem. He's in bleeding women's dresses and everything.
Yeah. But I don't remember his
Pharrell, is it Pharrell? Yeah, or Pharrell, wherever you.
Oh yeah, and then Malik Yoba recently too.
Bleeding.
There's it's really happening, and people laughed at that when he said that, but it's happening now.
Yeah, well, he finally came out then and decided, because for a while he kind of backed off a bit, but he's back. When he did that documentary, when he did that series, then that was it. He was back telling
Yeah, the
people,
stand up. Yeah.
"Feck you, I'm back now." I'm trying to. Is it black and white? Is it? Hold on. He turns into a panther. Is that the one?
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Have you seen the dance sequence in it though?
It's been a long time. I might have, but yeah, send it to me.
I'm trying to find it now. See if I've got the right even video. Yeah, there he is. So he's in the street. 11 minutes long. There's just the dance on its own. So it's called Black or White Panther Dance. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Would I get a copyright if I played this?
I did it the other day with a trailer. The rules I think is like you have to play 15 seconds or something, and then pause it, and then wait, talk, say something else, and you have to put the sound down.
For God's sake! Sure, that there'll be no point of me pausing out Jordan the dance here.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Well, I found that. I'll have to send it on your phone because if I even attempt to go into this video, I think the volume.
That's fine.
Right, but I found it. So it's Michael Jackson. It's called Black or White Panther Dance HD. Now I hope it's the uncut version because there's two versions. There's a version where they actually blank out the writing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a version where they don't, because he uses racial slurs and all in this. He's trying to tell you what Hollywood is really all about. He's basically trying to say, even though I'm black and successful, I'm still under someone's leash.
Of course, they all are.
Yeah,
I know that sounds crazy and like tinfoil hat, because I mean we can get into that, but Hollywood is a cesspool of just complete evil. So,
right, listen. Do you know what we've been talking for two? I didn't think.
I know. I got to talking, and you know.
But you know what? It was good to do something a bit different than just complain about Doctor Who all the time.
Right.
You know, because it
gets old.
So I hope you actually enjoyed the stream tonight, actually, because I certainly did.
I did. It was nice to talk about just random things.
You know, and listen, after this stream obviously goes up, if any of you actually have any opinions on that and we've spoke about tonight, let us know. It'll be interesting to see what you guys actually think. I mean, it was just something different. Yeah, we can get into the whole 2-pack thing. Yeah. 2-pack is good, but Biggie is brilliant. Biggie is a wordsmith, but 2-pack is brilliant as well. But there's loads of conspiracies. Actually, there's a video going around on YouTube a few years back. I don't know if it's still there, but apparently someone is filming in Cuba, and 2-pack apparently is alive and well in Cuba.
Yeah, I've heard that too. A lot of people say Michael Jackson's alive too.
Yeah, they all reckon that's where they go if they fake their own death.
Maybe is Elvis there too? You know.
The Michael Jackson one, right? The only reason why I'm not saying that Michael Jackson isn't dead. I'm 97% sure he's dead. But there's 3%. You're probably wondering what the 3% is. Well, there's interesting footage from TMZ where
I saw that.
His face is covered with a sheet and it looks like he's getting out of the back of an ambulance. Also, there's a photograph of a helicopter, and they've zoomed in on the photograph. And if you look at it, it's supposed to be a mannequin and not Michael Jackson. It's in the style of Michael Jackson, but it's not him. And there's other things where he's appeared at people's parties a couple of months after. And then obviously we've got the ones where he's supposed to be at his own funeral and stuff like that. Now, the funeral stuff and it is all interesting because he used to dress up and do stuff like that. But that's so easy to spot. But the other stuff, I don't know. Is there a chance that Michael Jackson faked his own death? I could understand why he would,
I
right?
could too. I mean,
Right.
if anyone could do it the way he would dress up, yeah, he could probably get away with it.
And by the way, for anybody thinking that he wouldn't be able to stay out of the public eye, when the Americans turned their back on him after the allegations, he came to Europe. He nobody knew he was in Ireland until he left Ireland. He's a very private man, so trust me. If Michael Jackson wanted to disappear, he actually could.
I would believe that over any celebrity they've said.
No, what, we'll do that one night because I can see some of you are talking about Elvis and all. Do you know what? We'll do a stream about that one night, actually. We'll talk about these celebrity deaths because the Tupac one is actually interesting as well. Because if you look at the autopsy photographs, they don't match up with the tattoo. Right. And also Biggie Smalls' vehicle, or was it Tupac's vehicle? If you look at the rims are different on the car. It's a totally different car. Looks like that the whole thing has been staged. Look, there is evidence out there to suggest that there's some sort of cover-up going on, at least, right? But that does leave it open then to people saying, well, maybe they are alive. That's why there'll always be conspiracy.
Well, and it's interesting to talk about. I mean, people are still talking about Paul McCartney's dead, and
he's supposed to be decapitated by a car accident. But here, I only found out about that one only about 2 years ago, and that was recent to me. Now, the weird thing about that one, though, is that there's only 1 or 2 videos on that one, and they're not really highly constructed videos. Like, there's not.
No, I think I watched one of them.
Much detail, which I don't know, but he's like the Beatles. I thought they were supposed to be popular. Maybe Paul McCartney is just not that popular, and he's not one to be talking about. But I don't know. If you do look at Paul McCartney's face, it does look. It's different. Like, within the space of a couple of months. But in fairness, he was in a car accident, so that could have changed his whole. There is explanations to that, but the fact that someone was saying he played the guitar with a different hand or something. Or whatever,
something like that. And they were trying to give clues on Abbey Road and.
Yeah, I've seen all that. Yeah, on the cover, and if you play guitar, Paul is dead. Paul,
yeah. Maybe it's still fun to talk about, but I think it's Paul. I don't think Paul McCartney's dead.
Before we do leave, let's see how many people actually think. Do people think Paul McCartney died and that this Paul McCartney now is not the real Paul McCartney? Because I will add one thing. Paul McCartney is being asked for a DNA test because apparently there's a kid or something, or someone come out and said that like he's the father. But he refuses to do a DNA test, which is, in itself that he does have the right to refuse a DNA test. But I think they've shown photographs of this kid, and it looks the spitting image. So is he not giving a DNA test because he just doesn't want to pay for the kid, or is he not giving a DNA test because he's not the real Paul McCartney and Paul McCartney actually is dead? Now, remember, this Paul McCartney, and I'm just saying this Paul McCartney for the simple fact because it's just better this way. But this Paul McCartney has made a few mistakes over the years, a couple of details. So I don't know. And we do know that there was lookalike competitions back in the day, and that the band actually did meet some of these lookalikes back in the day. So Lauren thinks they're all dead.
Well, Ringo isn't dead.
Well, okay.
Maybe he is.
That's just a waste of a stream. So, right, they're all dead. We don't have to do a stream. Lauren has called us. They're only messing. I know, but it is good to speculate. But I don't know if there's anybody out of them that could fake their own death and get away with it.
Michael Jackson would be the one.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'll tell you why. Yeah, not Elvis. I was going to say Elvis at first, but Elvis kind of died. he was back in Vegas, so his popularity was on the rise again. Whereas Michael Jackson's popularity still in America was still, you were coming around, you were embracing him again, but you didn't fully embrace him. So his popularity in America wasn't great. And around the world, well, in Europe, he was always loved. And in Ireland, he's loved. So, like, but America is where it counted for him. It hurt him.
It did. It really did.
That's the thing that hurt him the most, that his own country turned their back on him. That's why he lived in places like Dubai and Ireland and all over Europe, because he just couldn't face coming home. Why would you want to come home to a country that just won't, defend you?
Well, the media was relentless when that came out.
Exactly.
Constant. Exactly. So
he could, because as I said, his celebrity was on the wane in America. So he could, at that time when he went back, it'd be very easy for him to do that. If he had everything in place, he could pull it off realistically. Where would he go if you were Michael Jackson, though? That's the thing. Do you know what, though? Here's the thing. I don't think he's gone anywhere. I think America is big. I still think he's in the States. I think he's somewhere. He's away off somewhere, just living alone somewhere.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be funny if he was an Elvis, not Elvis, a Michael Jackson impersonator, kind of like in that movie Bubba Hotep, where it was like an Elvis impersonator taking over.
That would be brilliant. It'd be brilliant if he was trolling us all.
Yeah.
I wonder, but here's the thing. Nobody asks us this question. Right, see if all these celebrities did, and I'm just saying, hypothetically, all these celebrities faked their own deaths, right? Now, just say one of them just decided, right, I've had enough. I need to tell people I'm alive, and they come out. What do you reckon now? I'm asking you guys, do you think they should face prison time? Or do you think people would understand their situation? What do you think?
I think it depends on the situation, because there's still that rumor. I don't know if you remember the show Taxi.
Yeah.
But the Andy Kaufman, a lot of people think because he was kind of like, he did pranks like that, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people think he actually faked getting cancer and he actually didn't die. And then he's still out there, and this is the greatest prank he could ever think to do. And that's a rumor. So someone like him could come out. I think people would be maybe a little angry, because he basically faked his own cancer and then like faked his own death. So that would be, I don't think anyone like that would ever come out, because if he did, and he actually did fake his own death, there would be a lot of backlash for that.
Yeah. Oh, Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee are definitely dead. Yes.
Yeah.
The Lees, unfortunately, are definitely dead. Yeah. And that is sad. Yeah. I won't tell you how I know, but I know they're definitely dead. I have a weird fascination with looking at dead bodies, let's just say. YouTube, there's a few YouTube videos that you have to sign into. You can actually look at post-mortem photographs.
Well, I remember Kurt Cobain's picture of his dead body was all over the internet for a long time. So
yeah, I actually only seen that recently, and by looking at the photograph, all I'm going to say is he didn't shoot himself.
Nope.
No way. Sorry, there's no way he shot himself. And with the amount of heroin that he was supposed to have in his system, he did not pull that trigger. I'm sorry, I don't know how Courtney Love is still walking out there.
Watch the doc Bleach, and you will definitely change your mind. He did not commit suicide. There is no way.
What was that I watched recently? I watched it with Cheryl. Oh no, it was a documentary I think I watched on it. I was watching a few conspiracies, and I said I'm gonna watch actually the Kurt Cobain thing, because
it might have been the same one. Yeah.
A blonde, yeah. There was like the coppers talking to her on the bed. She has our friend bringing in the drugs and all.
I think it was Bleach.
Yeah, it could have been. And yeah, you hear phone calls and all, actual phone calls and transcripts. Have you ever seen that one? The one where you actually hear her talking to the lawyer. The lawyer thought there was something fishy about her, so we start. And this was the
Yeah, I think
guy
so.
that she actually got. Oh, not the lawyer, the detective or something. And then he ends up recording her because he thinks there's something fishy about her.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah.
Oh, what
Yeah,
was that
yeah.
documentary called? It was brilliant. It was. I was glued to it.
So, the one I'm talking about is Soaked in Bleach, but I think what you're talking about is a different one.
Oh, well, come here. Even in this one that I've seen, there's no way no. I don't care what anybody says. It's impossible. Impossible. Have you ever seen anybody on heroin? Because I have.
No, I haven't, but
I have. And I can tell you one thing now, right? There's no way they would be able to get a gun and do what he did, especially in the wrong hand. Not possible. Not possible. No way. The few of the celebrity deaths, that's what it was. I was on a celebrity celebrities that died in mysterious circumstances, and then
oh yeah, I like all those shows too.
popped up. I watched the one about Natalie Wood.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one too. I love those.
Now, the opinion on that one is something happened that night.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, recently the captain has come out now and says that there was a confrontation. Now, did he murder her? I don't think he did actually murder her. I think it might have been an accident, but I think
But he needs to.
it went too far, and he just covered it up, and he just
I tend to think that too.
Yeah.
But he probably figures, what's the point of coming out now with it? Well, it gives our family closure.
That's it. And you know, I was sad. I watched the whole. They did several reconstructions of what might happened, and each one of them was actually believable because she was highly intoxicated as well. We've got to remember she had a high alcohol level.
Mm-hmm.
So they showed a fight between the two of them, and he kind of pushed her and she fell overboard.
Yeah.
And they showed where she just walked out after they had a fight in the cabin, and she walked out to get a bit of air, and she fell over, but she actually tried to get in the dinghy because there's actually scrapes on the dinghy. So they actually say that she was actually trying to save herself. So she struggled to get onto the boat.
Yeah, I don't think she could swim.
But yeah, because she did that movie when she was a kid. They showed the footage in the documentary that I was watching. So she was to cross this bridge, and the bridge was to collapse, but it collapsed too soon or something, and then the water was coming down real heavy on her, but she wouldn't let go, and she ended up fracturing or dislocating. I think it was a fracture. She ended up breaking a few bones.
Yeah, I think that was Splendor in the Grass. I think that's the movie where she.
Yeah, and that's where she got her fear for water. But she did try to get up onto the boat when she fell into the water because he said there was scrape marks. Now, here's the thing, right? What would be sinister is that he seen her struggle and he waited until she died. In that case, he should be actually sent to prison.
Right.
But I do agree with you. I mean, if he does know something, he should come out and say it. And Christopher Walken has always been very quiet as well.
Yeah, but I think the fight started. Because she was doing that movie Brainstorm, which I have seen that movie, and I think she died during the filming of that. And so apparently Robert Wagner thought they were having an affair, and the fight started at dinner.
Yeah.
And he's been very quiet about that.
And it got heated again. That's what I reckon. I wouldn't be surprised though. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Christopher Walken, sure, he was up and coming,
right? I mean,
I wouldn't really call him attractive, but there was
Natalie Wood was very attractive. I mean, even back then, she's still very attractive. So I mean.
And I mean, that was the second time. Wasn't that the second time she married Robert Wagner? Wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously they decided to give it another go, and they did have. I'm not gonna lie, by the looks of it and sounds of it, they did have a volatile relationship. It could have got out of hand that night, and he probably pushed her overboard. But look at if he had it. See, it's gonna. This is his way of thinking. If he comes out and says something now, it's gonna look bad. Whereas if he had said it from the beginning, look, we had a fight. I pushed her over, but I did try and save her. but I was too intoxicated and she
He's
died.
he would have still went to prison.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have went to, you know what I mean? He wouldn't have went
Right,
to
I know.
prison for long, but
It would
he's
have been it would have been manslaughter
means
probably.
more to him than closure
Yeah.
for her family because he's that type of guy anyway. He looks like that type of guy anyway. I used to watch Heart to Heart, and even in that,
Mhm.
I could sense he was a bit of an egotistical.
Yeah, apparently she had caught him. There was a lot of issues in the past because she had caught him with several men.
Wow.
So, yeah. I don't know how true that is.
Oh, no, I can't say it because I'll get into trouble. But what if it was if you
The other way around? Yeah.
yeah,
You never know.
and then she, and
Yeah.
then and then them two
It ended
overboard.
up being a little strange, but I don't get that vibe from Christopher Walken, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, I see that though. I love that whether you can come up with stuff. But here, if you haven't watched those sort of documentaries, you should. There's actually the what's her called the what's her she called the Black Delilah.
Oh, the Black Dahlia. Yeah. I read
Yeah,
all about that.
Dahlia. Sorry, she's the most famous one
Mhm.
because like she was murdered. They still didn't find out, did they not? But a lot of people
I think they
died.
found out her name at some point, but she was like a no-name actress. She was up and coming. I think she had done some like, snuff type films, not snuff films, but
Yeah, those
yeah,
type of- yeah.
yeah. But other than that, and I think that's how the killer
Yeah,
targeted
she
her.
was found with her stockings or something wrapped around, or something like
Yeah,
it was really gruesome. It was one of the most. Yeah, it's still like there's. I love all those. Even the
yeah.
one with George Reeves, Hollywood
Oh
Land.
yeah, I
Netflix.
watched that too.
That actually made me sad, that movie, because look, it gives you you kind of, as the viewer, it kind of gives you a choice, really, or
Yeah, they
it
don't.
presents
Yeah,
it in a way that it's not giving you one side. It's kind of showing you, well, maybe it might have been a murder, but more than likely it was a suicide. Like the way that's the way the movie is framed. But by the end of it all, do I think he was suicidal? It's hard to tell, but
hmm,
what kind of puzzles me is that he was able to fire off a shot into the roof and then put the bullet or put the gun up against his chin and blow his brains out without anybody of the seventh floor party that was downstairs, because they would have heard the first bullet,
yeah.
ran
They would have heard
upstairs
it.
and actually stopped them. But he managed to fire off a second bullet. Now, on top of that, it took them over an hour and a half to actually ring the authorities, so they made sure he was dead. Um, I don't know. I mean, he in that last video, I've actually seen the original footage because in the movie they show you footage of Ben Affleck. It's shortly after he's trying to get a different role, but because he did Superman. Even in those early days, he tried a Hollywood movie, but he was, there's Superman. Everybody start laughing, so he start getting typecast.
Yeah,
So wrestling, his only thing was because he was Superman. This wrestling thing gave him a chance, so he had to show off his moves. So in the end of the movie, they show you. So what his agent is trying to say. So with this footage, his agent's trying to say, well, if you look into his eyes, you can see that he actually was sad, and I think it's suicide. And then they give you well, was he murdered plot, or you know what I mean? Like they
yeah.
still, and the
I
mothers
don't
are.
think they totally know, but I tend to think he was probably murdered
I
because
think
he made some enemies, and.
I think he was. Well, I mean, he was with Maddox's wife, which
Yeah.
is the head of one of the biggest studios, and he happened to be a big league gangster. But he knew about the relationship. Now they did split up, and yeah, I think there might have been some repetition for that, to be quite honest with you. But I don't know. Again, when you look at the footage then of him doing the crack, and you look at the original footage because you can get it, it does look like, if you look into his eyes, he looks dead. It looks like he's actually already given up. That he knows his time has passed. You know, he had his chance, but Superman wasn't the chance that he wanted. And look at George Reeves played Superman, but let's make no mistake about it. This man didn't want to play Superman because he didn't want to be typecast. It wasn't that he didn't love kids or acting. It was just back in those days he wanted to be considered a serious actor, and Superman wasn't a serious role. And he did suffer for it in Hollywood, which is sad back in those days. Now you can actually play Superman and go off and do other stuff. You're not typecast anymore. But
not as bad now.
You can still be, but I mean, Henry Cavill hasn't been typecast. He's doing different roles now.
I mean, but don't you think Matt Smith was kind of typecast in a way?
He is now. Yeah, he shouldn't have left Doctor Who.
Yeah, I mean, but I do think he was great in The Crown. I just think he doesn't get as much praise for that.
No, The Crown, he's brilliant as Prince Philip.
Yeah.
The best part of that.
Yeah.
Every episode that he's in, he's brilliant in that. Listen, if you haven't seen The Crown, Matt Smith's performance in that as Prince Philip, brilliant. Claire Foy as Queen Elizabeth, brilliant. And I hate the royal family, by the way. I'm Irish. We're born and bred to hate them.
Right.
But Matt Smith makes them almost fucking human.
I was hoping that he just continue on with the role, but of course, they got the guy from Outlander.
I do like the new Prince. Yeah. To be honest. Now they've tried to make him less of an asshole in this one.
I don't know. He seems more that way to me, and I don't know. Maybe because Matt Smith was the Doctor, so I give him a little bit less of the. Yeah.
Well, in fairness, if you look at what Matt Smith's character did to his son in the Series 2 in the aeroplane, that wasn't the best father.
No, it wasn't.
Thing.
It wasn't.
I mean, in this one, Series 3, like you seen him, he was gushing over the moon, and then they talked about his problems because he was stagnating, and then obviously, him being more friendly to the kids, they made him less of an ass. Apparently, the queen wasn't happy with the way.
I think it's because I've seen the actor in Outlander that I watched a little bit of that, and he's such an asshole in that. So he plays a character in it that's a real jerk.
Yeah.
So
I hope we do get Prince. I hope he does end up being an asshole, Prince Philip, because we've all seen the footage where he's take the fucking photograph. All the footage. Have you ever seen that footage?
No.
Go on to YouTube and write. All you need to type in is write in Prince Philip's greatest moments, right? And when you see all the gaffes this man has, this man does not give a shit. So come here. A couple of days after he crashed into those two women, he was out driving again. He was actually stopped by the police from driving, right? And finally, the royal household came out. The royal family came out. Prince Philip has finally given up his driver. He's stubborn because, and look, if you've watched The Crown to a certain extent, you can get where he's coming from.
Yeah,
but his name was taken from him. His kid's name was taken from him. His career was taken from him, all because he'd married the Queen. Now, okay, maybe
he didn't have to marry her, though.
He didn't realize how much he'd have to give up, but he did do it. In my opinion, do you know what? Out of the whole lot of them, Prince Philip, I don't mind if he has the odd fucking, gaff.
Meltdown.
You know why? Proves it's human. He proves he's human. And you know what? He's done his fucking service. But if he did crash into those two women, he should be held accountable. But the fact that he hasn't apologized is typical Prince Philip. Trust me. It's typical Prince Philip.
That's typical royal family, kind of. Yeah. I mean, they're not...
So, look, he's a gas character when you like him and all. I mean, there was scandal around him and all back in the day. He's just...
It's very fascinating though, because we don't really have that over here. So for Americans, that's like, wow, it's kind of fascinating to us. I mean, we had that a little bit with JFK a little bit, but not anything to that level. So I think that's why it's fascinating to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pity the actor he got to play JFK in The Crown was a bit shit.
Oh, yeah, it's the guy from Dexter. And I'm just like, why is Dexter playing JFK? And it's just the worst.
I didn't mind a woman that played Jackie.
No, she was much prettier than
Yeah,
Jackie Kennedy, but you know, she did a good job.
But what? Jackie was a bit of a bitch, though, wasn't she?
She was, and actually, I remember my mom telling me because when they came to Texas, she made a comment that she was going to come down here and show Texas women how to dress. So that my mom has never forgotten that. So she didn't like her.
Yeah.
So she was a little bit full of herself.
Oh yeah, well you could tell by the way she went on. All right, yeah, I've watched the footage and all. Yeah, she was really full
I
of
mean,
it.
I actually felt bad for the queen in that, which that's kind of hard to
Yeah,
do.
but in fairness though, I know it was only dramatized for the TV, but if that is true, she did say those things. She did make the queen do something that the queen's never done, which was dance with that leader. Do you remember over in
Yeah, so she kind of
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because of that, because she was insulted, the queen felt like she had to do something, and then she did. If that is true, of course, it's only
Yeah,
drama.
that's
So we don't know if that was the reason why the Queen did it. But if that was the reason, well, then I'll have to give Jackie Kennedy all that credit because if the Queen had done that, and then I think she would have had a short reign, to be honest. Because
I will say Olivia Colman is so good in that role.
she is, she's a good Queen, but I miss Claire Foy.
I do too. Actually, I guess I thought like, oh, this is gonna. I mean, it's good, but I guess I would have liked to see just a little bit more of her and Matt Smith. Well, I just missed the Matt Smith
Yeah,
Prince Philip. I mean, I have to admit, I actually missed him because he really was the best part of the first two
the
series.
saddest part, or the saddest episode of Series 3 is obviously the Welsh coal mine.
Yeah.
God. Oh
And
my God.
and I really like, is that true that she waited that long to like make?
Yeah, she
Oh
did.
my God.
She actually says, no, seriously, even at the end of the show, she said it, but I actually went to have a look to see if that quote actually existed. It's one of our biggest regrets. Apparently, now she always makes sure that a member of the royal family goes down every year if she doesn't make an appearance. Now, obviously, as she's gotten older herself, you don't expect her to go every year now.
No, she's up at
But
8.
yeah, that's apparently that's one of our biggest regrets that she has during the whole reign.
Wow.
Which is just goes to show the human side of her, I suppose. But she
Well, I
should
mean,
be ashamed of a lot more though when it comes to Ireland. But we won't get into that. That's
I think she became hard because she had to do all these things that she didn't really want to do. And I think it hardened her a lot. So I could kind of understand that, but that was like, when is she gonna go? You know? But I just think it's harder. I think it's harder for people like that to feel emotion because everything's about duty and doing things you don't want to do all the time.
yeah.
So,
Right, look, we'll
all
finish
right.
up now because I've kept you here long enough. Listen,
All right.
thanks for joining me tonight. Fair
No
play to you.
problem.
And I'll definitely see you. Are you coming on Sunday? Or are you,
Yes, I'm
yeah,
gonna do it. I'm gonna
right. Well,
finish it
sure.
up.
Look, listen, 2 episodes to go. That's all
That's
we
it.
have. And then this madness then only begins again.
All right. Well,
Right,
thanks for having
listen,
me on.
no problem, man. Listen, enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you and Jason on Sunday.
All right. Night, everyone.
Night. And guys, thank you for joining us. I know this was a different kind of stream tonight, but listen, I hope you enjoyed it. 48 of you stuck around, so it mustn't have been that bad. Listen, thanks for joining. It was just something different to Doctor Who. Listen, Friday we'll be back again anyway, talking about Doctor Who. There'll be plenty to talk about. The BBC have dropped a couple of articles. Now, listen, I still haven't done that video on that I was supposed to do. The reason why is Charlotte's still a bit under the weather. She's been in bed most of the time. She's getting mad migraine headaches. Now she's got tablets for it, but I just think it's because the weather here is extra cold than it usually is, and it's really playing havoc with our migraines. So she's been in bed. So I haven't. You know what I mean. I was even debating whether I go live tonight, but she said no, don't skip it, go live. So I've tried to keep it down, which I think I have, because I haven't seemed to have woke her up. So that's why I haven't gotten around to the other videos. So I will get them out. It's Wednesday now. I'll try see if because I don't know how Cheryl's going to be tomorrow. If she's still the same tomorrow, I'll try out a video on one of those articles tomorrow. If not, you'll have a few videos of me on Friday. I'll throw that article because there's a couple of articles that I want to bring to his attention. Some of you might know about them already, but you know, what you call it. It'd be good to fill you all in. Listen, I just want to say a big thank you. I used Pasta Salad's intro today. So I'm going to leave you with his intro. He hasn't done an outro, but what you call it? I've been informed that there's a new intro being made for me, which I'm delighted to say, by Pasta Salad. So, what you call it? I'll leave you with this intro. Let me know what you think of this intro as well, and Bad Wolf's intro that we've been using. Yeah, I like this intro as well. Have to say, guys, thank you, Unknown and Bad Wolf. By the way, Chris, I forgot, and all the other moderators, thank you very much for everything that you have done. I don't know, I think everything was pretty quiet tonight, I hope, for you guys. Daniel, thanks for joining us. And I do know the channels were thrown up earlier on. Yeah, Unknown, that's the weird thing. I've tried to find our channel as well. I think one of the other lad, there you go. There. Chris always finds it. Chris always finds it. So the channels are in the chat there, guys. Go and check out Blue Bonnet Hoovian's channel. And as I said, Daniel's channel as well. And there the Holics were in the chat earlier. Go and check those guys out. If you want to hear some boozy reviews, go and subscribe to those guys. So listen, thank you everybody for the super chats as well. I really appreciate it. I will talk to you all very, very soon. Listen, enjoy the rest of your week, and remember, you know, chin up. Don't let anybody out there get you down. You know what I mean? There's always going to be someone out there that's going to have a problem with you, and there's nothing you can do about that. The best thing you can do is just keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Because that'll annoy them, and you know, maybe I'm just evil. I just love annoying people. And there, so Chris has actually put up all the channels that I've mentioned. Chris, you're a legend as usual. To all my other moderators, thank you very much. Everybody in the chat, as I said, thank you. All those guys that sent me in a super chat, thank you very much. And all you guys watching, thank you. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Please make sure you hit that notification bell as well, and please make sure that you're still notified that you're still subscribed to me, because what you call it, trust me, it is happening. Ballstreck says it. The subs falling all over the place, and then so just make sure that you're still subscribed to the channel. And I will leave you with a reminder of Pasta Salad's intro. Guys, let me know what you think of this one. You have seen Bad Wolves the last few streams. So here is Pasta Salad's. Now he's doing me a new intro. But this was the very first intro that we ever had on this channel. I like this. We have an Irish version as well, but it won't fit because it's a bit too long. But this is this one here, so enjoy it.
Bye.